Took those risks against BetBoom and it worked out for them, netting them the 2-1 victory. So we'll see if that trend will continue here with these risks from NAVI.
I love Kaori using the Habibi come to TI voice line against Nigma. That's so good. Indeed. It's going to be a Habibi TI.
Oh, we're going to see a lot of Yalla Habibi, Yalla.
You know, I'm so happy actually. My girlfriend is Lebanese, and for the first time she's going to TI, and Nigma managed to qualify. They got the 3 Lebanese players.
Hey.
The most Lebanese team ever in TI.
Nice, nice, nice. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't seem... We're very far away from having any South Africans at TI, so I'll have to wait for a few years.
One of these days. At least worked the event, you know, in the backlines and so on. But yeah, no players. It's kind of hard. South Africa is really like being isolated in Dota when it comes to being able to play against people. Like server-wise, It's just so... it's on an island.
Honestly, it's kind of incredible that there's prominent South Africans at all in the Dota scene, given the reality of the situation.
Oh yeah, I mean,
as we might have an early fight here. No, nothing happens. Okay.
Yeah, there's a big cool community that dates back long in South African scene, right? There's so many people in the Dota scene. Just rough. Always having to deal with so high ping if they want to play on EU or something.
Ish. I mean, I remember I was playing a game with one of my EU homies, and I was ecstatic because that day I was getting 150, and I was like, we're eating good today, gang.
That's a good day then. Not the usual 175 or something, yeah.
Poor Omar. Gonna eat some damage from Ari and Yoragi right now, but I'm not sure they have the tools to kill him off just yet. Kaori even comes around to drop the Shadow Word, forcing him into the Firefly. He didn't want to have to pop that at level 1, but didn't have a choice there.
Yeah, he got forced to skill it up, and not only is that gonna hurt, you know, because he had to skill something poorly, but it also literally hurts. Now with the stoked facet, it takes a little bit of extra damage from it, so it took a while for him to get his HP back.
One thing I will say as well is that if it's a support bat, at least you're not dealing with all that arsonist damage, so
yeah.
Life might not be so bad.
That's true, but on the other hand, he can come quite quickly at you with the stoked facets, just running people down. We'll see if he can make any aggressive plays. GH is gonna try and mess with Ari, who's going for the pull through. He actually does steal the range creep connecting there onto the big camp.
So talk to me about this classic lane within Dota 2. The only lane more classic than this is like Queen of Pain versus Puck.
Yeah.
How are things looking right now between these two heroes in the mid lane matchup?
I think ever since he got Static Slide, Storm generally doesn't struggle that much against Queen of Pains, and we might just see Copy do the no Shadow Strike build here. Even though Storm is a hero you want to punish, now he goes back for it. He double points it now on level 3. So aggressive intentions to try and lock down the Storm, but I think Storm should be doing completely okay farm-wise. It's a hard hero to shut down for Queen nowadays.
What a hero Storm Spirit is.
Yeah, dead even in last hits. I mean, the Static Slide having mobility, it just makes you able to CS even when you get bullied back. But this move though, Kaori coming in, stealing away the water. Omar actually forcing him to take it though.
Water rune taken. We'll see, as Omar's putting in quite a bit of damage onto Kaori, but he still does have the Shadow Word, so he should be fine in the long run here.
Warlock is the level 1 powerhouse, right? You don't need much, just Shadow Word is a massive amount of damage and healing.
It ain't much, but it's an honest spell.
You know, I was watching T-Gout play some Warlock recently, and I realized Warlock is the only hero I can mention who has 5 abilities that get increased AoE by Gleipnir.
Oh.
He has all his abilities increased by Gleipnir in AoE. Even the bind AoE of the Fatal Bond. And then the Golem's Immolation Aura also gets buffed by it, so kind of crazy value.
Okay. If I go back to playing support, I'm going to play some Warlock, see how that goes for myself.
Yeah, you can always copy the Warlock spammer T-Jobs builds. Fun guy.
Top lane, Ghost. Still farming away on his Gyrocopter, doing about as well as you expect. Can you actually envision for me a off-lane duo that would reliably beat Gyrocopter IO?
Oof, that's hard. I think sometimes certain like Racer matchups can be hard to deal with. Like but it needs to be a strong support because Razor is also susceptible to just getting harassed down and get gone on. But if you have some aggressive support, like, I don't know, Marcy Razor can actually be tricky. Level 2, you get pulled back, static link, but it's not really reliable. It's again, yeah, this lane is very strong.
While they're farming away, we did get to see a glimpse of Sumail being forced back into the base to replenish all of his mana. That, of course, gave Copy a little bit of an advantage here in this mid lane. He should reach level 5 before Sumail does. So, is he going to go third point into the Shadow Strike is the question.
Yeah, I think at some point you need to get your blink, and it might just be now as he's going for the rune. He needs to get back to his CS anyway. Just going to skill up the blink. But so far he's doing a good job as Queen Pain, 26 and 8, so nice last hits. But Storm, while he's struggling, Sumail, I mean, if you mention a Storm who came back after a hard laning stage, I think there is no other player that should pop up in your mind than Sumail. He's literally known for it. His TI era of just getting shut down super hard in lane and then finding like, what, a 12-minute Bloodstone by a little bit of jungling. This guy, he knows his comebacks.
I mean, in that game you're mentioning in particular, he was 0-3 at 5 minutes and still had that 12-minute Bloodstone.
Yeah, it was absurd, man. I mean, Sumail, he's a legendary Storm player.
Top lane. GH, the legendary IO, is being sieged upon by Boom and Ari. Ghost, though, putting in the pressure back towards them with the level 2 rocket barrage. They're actually chasing Boom. They want this Pangolier, and it looks like they're going to get him. First blood drawn by Ghost on his gyrocopter. Boom goes down, gyrocopter stays up. And if you look at him, doesn't even seem like he was in a fight. Literally has full mana and full HP. Shout out IO.
It's deceptive. This IO innate is crazy good. Regenerating twice faster, or twice as fast, the tangles become super valuable. He has 17 HP per second when he eats a tangle, which is hard to go through. I mean, you're trying to chase him down, but he's just out regenerating. He even had a healing Lotus, so he knew what he was doing.
Ari will come towards middle. I think they want to try and get this kill onto Sumail before he cracks 6. Copy has 6 now, so this is the time. This is the time. If Sumail's ever going to die, it's going to be within the next 15 seconds. If he gets to his ultimate, much more difficult to accomplish in future. Ari looking for the angle.
He saw him now.
Does find it eventually, but Sumail sees him as well, so Sumail will just walk away and he'll be fine.
Yeah, playing towards the bottom rune, but Warlock is there as well. Instead, it's just going to be Batrider making more and more stacks. I wonder if maybe you let the Storm use that as a recovery method. Yeah, Haste Rune does get picked up by IO in the end.
I mean, that's a good point, right? It doesn't feel like the Beastmaster really needs it. Noob is doing pretty good down bottom. Honestly, you can just leave him alone. He actually might just get a kill with the help of Omar. Uragi falling so low, dive hawk, but they don't want to dive underneath the tower. Kaori came in as well. What a time to be alive. I think if they'd gone a little bit sooner for that one, I don't think Noob was prepared for how much damage they were actually doing.
Yeah, Noob wasn't really prepared for it, and at the same time, he doesn't have boots, so he didn't want to keep overcommitting under tower against the Abaddon who does have boots and get kited. So, still good they backed out, but yeah, maybe there was a kill threat there. He could actually have gone it.
But so far in these lanes, Nigma
back to full HP, the Warlock just fixes him.
And level 2 Shadowword, it's good stuff. We're gonna pop it again, but this time around might not be as effective. Uragi still does not have the level 6, and indeed he's gonna die before he gets it. No way out of this one, buddy. Noob throws in the Hawk to kill him. Batrider will just pick up the Shrine, and things looking good for Nigma Galaxy.
And that was a costly death right there. They were doing really well on the Abaddon, who was having a great start, but losing him early out like this, getting a bit too greedy, trying to play aggressive for the Wisdom Rune. And that's him dying without anything committed from the mid laner.
Yeah. And the thing is, he's building Radiance as the Abaddon. Each of these deaths, you know, it's one thing if you're building like, I don't know, some Maelstrom, Falcon Blade Maelstrom as your first items. Who cares? A death or two, you can tank it on the chin. But he's building these super expensive items from jump. Really impact your progression if you die like that.
Yeah, very true. 10 seconds for the power rune, so both teams again moving towards it.
Where is it gonna spawn? They're pinging out bottom. Shackles could come out, and they do towards the Storm Spirit. Sumail in trouble. Sonic Wave will be there as well, but he is still alive. Has the level 6, so he gets up onto the high ground. Omar has Firefly, so he just moves himself away. Io was there with the heals, and look what it is. A young regen rune. Oh no, Queen of Pain. She comes in to steal it. Copy now with the shackles out onto Sumail. Maybe they get something out here. Sumail doesn't have more mana, but GH will supply it. So he's gonna be fine. Nice play coming in from Copy.
What a great steal right there. Storm didn't think that was going to happen. He had magic charges. Sumail could have gone that one if he wanted to, but he didn't expect the Queen to just blink aggressively and steal it right under his nose. Now using the regen rune to tank the tower. This is one of the nice things you can do with the regen rune as well. Just use it as a pushing tool.
Did you like the change on the regen rune?
I really like it. That it's more of a combat rune now and doesn't just serve as a refill. I actually think it's really fun.
Okay. I mean, I play carry, so the only time I ever see that rune is like much later in the game.
Yeah, it's a mid laner thing, right? They get the regen rune, now it's also a strong fighting rune no matter what hero you are. Like if you're just going on someone and you have regen rune, it's deceptively tanky to go through.
Well, Copy is going to try and pull some deception with the smoke as they head towards the top side of the map to find Ghost. Unfortunately, he senses that something is awry. He backs off into the jungle. Nobody's showing on the map. While his team is in the triangle, nobody's pressuring any lanes. He's like, yeah, they're coming for me. Let me just stay safe.
Yeah, he's playing to the deep areas. Not really worth going in. Even if you could find him back there, it might not really work out as the Io can TP in and heal him up very quickly. Instead, mid lane, they're gonna find the Batrider. Looks to be an easy pick off.
Yeah, whatever. He was just soaking experience, trying to finish off his boots. So he doesn't really care that much.
As bottom lane has been pretty abandoned, this new Beastmaster is getting a lot of farm in this area. Abaddon is holding on to whatever he can, but it's really Beast's area.
As he's been making his journey in the offlane, Noob, I will say this is one of the heroes that he has consistently shown on when he's been playing it. His Beastmaster is always really, really solid.
Yeah.
Almost has the Helm of the Overlord, and you know, compare and contrast the Beastmaster we saw earlier on from Vitaly, how long that took, to this, night and day difference.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's getting a fantastic timing. If he keeps going at this rate, it's going to be that 12 minutes, you know, almost faster than 12-minute timing that you really look towards in a good game. The attention coming towards top lane now. Rasta doesn't have snakes yet though. Warlock does have ulti, but isn't in position to be up there. Well, nothing's really happening as present. Everyone's just farming. Yeah, stacks being made. Beast, Batrider stacking up a little bit for Beast or Storm to come and farm later. Or even the Gyrocopter. Just going for Academics first. Not making a pit stop for Yasha or Dragonlance or Crystallis or any of those items. Just wants the Academics. I think this is to prevent himself getting bursted. He's against Queen, very fast damage coming out, so just wants to up that max HP.
Yeah, I mean, it's Queen, it's Pango. Hell, it's even Shadow Shaman. Ether Shock is always one of those spells as a carry that you're just like, oh my god, where the hell did that come from?
Yeah, it's quick. It's quick damage coming out of nowhere.
But speaking of where they're coming from, NAVI is coming from the south side, and they're heading north. They want to catch this Gyrocopter. Io does have the relocate on GH. They're going to bait out a little bit with Boom, and now they're going towards Ghost. Do they have the ready killer? Chaotic offering drop down, Sonic Wave is out. They're dropping everything on top of him. Eventually, he will end up falling. Now we'll see, will Nigma Galaxy get anything off the back edge? Sumail TP'd in, but he realizes the fight is already over. Yes, they got the kill, but that was a massive investment from Navi.
It did take everything in the kitchen sink to get that one, but they do bring him down. Poppy being chased by the Storm, who's pretty low mana.
Should be fine. Flame Break will not connect. Storm, like you said, out of mana, so can't complete the full zip.
A little bit too short to be able to catch that, but still nice attempt. Does force the Queen to walk back to base as the shield rune bottom could still be picked up. It's Ari gonna control it though. He does not want Storm to get rune control.
I have a quick trivia question for you.
Yes.
This Beastmaster, Helm of the Overlord, right? It has been purchased in this patch 62 times on Beastmaster.
Okay.
Where in that ranking do you think Noob is on his timing?
Ooh, it has to be, I think among this, I want to say 6th fastest or something. This has to be a really quick one.
So close. It's number 7 on the list.
No,
Number 7.
that's
You were very close.
that's pretty good guess though, right? I mean,
within the margin of error, we'll take it. We'll take it.
Margin of error of 1, and we'll accept it. No, this is a fantastic timing. He's looking huge, and the bigger thing is his gyrocopter is also massive. A lot of times when you have this good of a start on your offlaner, you look towards your carry and it's like, yeah, but we're struggling somewhere else. But honestly, it's only Storm who's a little bit behind, but we knew that was going to be the case against the Ping. So they're in pretty good shape. At the same time, you can kind of spin it around and say Navi, all of the cores are getting their farm. They're kind of trucking along. I would be concerned for them though, because it becomes harder once those tier 1 towers are gone to say how they're going to play the game. Like, it's easy when they just post up on a tier 1 and siege the tower, but as the map opens up more and more, IO relocate becomes a bigger impact.
For now, we do see Nigma Galaxy posturing around this mid lane with the ancient granite golem just shoving in this wave towards the tower. Ari should be able to reliably clean it up, and Copy in there might actually want to jump onto Noob. Boom does have the Rolling Thunder. For now, they'll just focus on the Ancient, looking for the free gold, but Omar says, nice try, bozos.
Wow. The little support Batrider auto attack denying it. That's some good timing coming out from Omar. Minus 250
top lane,
gold.
look at this. GH, he stole their shrine and TP'd out. What a god.
VP. And he didn't risk his carry as well doing it, you know? He just went for that play and then he's like, yeah, now I'm back. Take care of my carry again.
Yuragi is making his way towards the Radiance. I will say, I had assumed that Nigma Galaxy, off of the back of how crazy good the game was going for Noob, that they would try to apply more pressure towards Yuragi, but he's been given the time to finish his item. So he will have this Radiance, and that definitely will have an impact on this Beastmaster and how much influence he has in the middle of the fight with his army.
Yeah, for sure. It's a big power spike that he's going to hit, because right now you feel kind of like creep as Abaddon, but once you get that Radiance, you're not only strong at farming, but the team fight impact of just running at people is not something you can ignore.
What do you think he goes after that? Is it an SNY game? Do you want him to go straight Blink? What's the feeling?
Yeah, hard to say. I like the Blink, honestly, just because if you get roared, you know, you get the bar time to save you, and then you blink away to safety. I'm a big fan of that, but maybe just go straight from Manta style to have the illusions push out the lane as well. Because right now, they don't have the best ways to shove lanes.
We'll see. That is one thing about this abandoned hero. So many different itemizations. He's actually going on a mid lane, but he doesn't have his ultimate, but he does have the skill point rating. He's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, it's Aurora and then what? So a little bit awkward for Noob.
Oh, Hex going out onto Sumail. He's been caught in by Ari. Ari dropped a Giga Ward for this one as well, but Ari will be the first one to die as Ghost shows up as well with Io. They want to put in the pressure with the Gyrocopter. Copy, eating a homing missile right now. Omar hits him with the Flame Break, but doesn't have Lasso. Can't hold Copy in position. Gyrocopter gets relocated back with the Io. And this fight will end up ending with just being a quick pick-off onto the Shadow Shaman. Doesn't seem like much else will happen.
Yeah, just a small outcome after a big fight, the big brawl. Now more. The Centaur Stomp to start.
This could be huge. They got the Stomp onto the Boom Pangolier. He's going to try and get out with the Swashbuckle. Big Sonic Wave to push back all of these heroes. Unfortunately, it's just not enough. What happened? I think they had to have known that there were still some heroes in the area, but they just caught him completely off guard.
He didn't know that they had vision around the tree line as well. He snuck up on him with the Centaur around the corner, and using the Observer Ward that he had, managed to get a good initiation. Pango, he was just looking for something with his Diffusal, you know? You get Diffu on Pango, you want to fight, you know that you're so strong early on, but unfortunately, when you're in vision, anything can backfire very quickly on you.
Yeah. Navi are struggling right now with the 2k net worth deficit. Abaddon does have the Radiance, so he's going to try to farm as much as he can. Unfortunately, Ghost also has the full Ags and is most of the way towards the D-Lance. 300 gold remaining for this item. It's kind of crazy how quickly he got here.
Yeah, he's speeding up. He has an IO following him and speeding up his farm as well, so this is going to be a farm Gyrocopter for sure. Bigger question for me is, how's Sumail's recovery going, right? He hasn't really found too many kills or involvement. I think he's respecting a lot the early game team fight of Radiant. Doesn't want to fight into the Warlock ulti. But he's kind of quietly just working his way back.
Now, you'd be forgiven for even forgetting that we had a Storm Spirit in this game. but he'll get there at some point. His counterpart, though, is almost at the Kai Assange, so it's a lot of damage output coming in from the Queen of Pain. And right now, there's a Roshan that's going in for Navi. They're in the pit with the Giga Ward. It doesn't seem like Nigma Galaxy is ready to counter this.
This Ward can tank for a long time, and then they come in tanking with the Golem as well. Really committing double support ultis for this. But if you get your Aegis, it feels pretty amazing.
Wow, that was happening. They smoked up on Nigma, so they might try to actually catch them on the retreat here. Who will they find? They come across the Pangolier. Doesn't get himself away just yet. Nice hex onto Sumail. They hold him in position too. Abaddon immediately dispels the lasso. And here comes Parker with the gyrocopter on the back edge. They've taken out the Shadow Shaman. Sonic Wave, it connects, but it's not enough damage. Primal Roar now goes back onto Copy, and Copy's gonna die. Io, he goes back, leaving the gyrocopter behind to clean up onto Boom. And now as Copy returns, he does not have any way out of here except for the blink. He does manage to do so at the last second as they killed off Sumail. Uragi now with the Abaddon and the Radiance putting in the burn damage between him and Kaori. They're gonna rinse this fight. Ghost about to die. Uragi kills him as well.
Oh,
it started so solidly for Nigma, but it ends up being a disaster. Fatal Bonds, baby, turning the fight around.
Fatal Bonds Radiance. I mean, that's a lot of damage coming out. So just running around, the Abaddon's damage doesn't look that high, but look at the Fatal Bonds impact. 3,300 total from the Warlock. And that was with him using Golem before the fight started. He had his Golem already used for the Roche. Of course, it was still part of the fight, but yeah. Plenty of burn coming in. A little bit overstaying their welcome, I suppose. Nigma, they started out the fight really well. I thought they were gonna dominate it with the supports not having ultis ready.
That fight also catapulted Abaddon to near the top of the net worth charts. Look at him, Uragi now number 2. Yeah. Not that far away from grabbing number 1, and like you mentioned, going straight into the Manta style after having this Radiance.
And I kind of like what we see from Queen of Pain as well, going for the Shard in this game. Oh,
Ari dropped a Giga Ward here. Will die for it, and doesn't seem like anybody in his team is nearby to help find some vengeance.
Yeah, no, he's just gonna die, unfortunately for him. No way out of that one. Tormentor has spawned, and we see Dire moving over, but Radiant are actually the ones smoking to get him.
Uragi will break the smoke by showing on the wave. I think they were waiting for the Pango. Might be too late. Nigma already have it. Almost down. Okay, they got it. Can they get out is the question. Omar's the one that got the shot, but he also has very little HP.
Oh, Io gonna slither away, but the Copy, Queen of Pain, he can't quite close the distance.
Oh, they might still want to jump this year.
They
gave Copy the Shadow Word. He could jump. Swashbuckle caught the Io and the Gyrocopter. They know where they're at, but they also know that jumping in could lead to a death knell. They didn't see the Beastmaster, so there would have been an immediate roll. Not worth the risk because Uragi doesn't have a mobility item, so just rather let it go.
Yeah, that's really nice getaway for Nigma. Thought they would get punished, but managed to take it fast enough and get to safety. And I think once they get this pipe complete on Beastmaster, the Radiance timing power spike can be mitigated greatly.
Bottom lane. Boom. Well, this is one of the things we don't get to see too much in our games because we don't get to see Io, but I don't miss this, I won't lie. Like, seeing this gives me some very bad flashbacks of some of my pubs, so I don't miss seeing that at all.
You show up on any side of the map and you just get gone on by like 3-4 heroes. It's just a different flavor of the Dawnbreaker ganks, really.
At least they don't have Nature's Prophet too. As we do see Shackles coming out. They do find a noob and he's isolated from the rest of his team. He actually dropped down the ultimate. It's not going to be enough to do anything. The cooldown from the Gyrocopter was there, but they had to utilize the relocate to go get a kill elsewhere. Not available to encroach upon that fight.
He might as well try to defensively roar. He's going to be dead for 50 seconds anyway, so it's almost going to be off cooldown when he respawns. But they did at least use some big resources to bring him down. The Sonic Wave and Warlock ulti was popped again. But it is Navi who are making more moves while Nigma are still accelerating the farm.
They'll be able to defend this tier 2 tower with the Gyrocopter. They would like to get the kill on the Chaos Golem, but it's not strictly speaking necessary. They're not going to overextend for it either.
Yeah, they even get more gold for the Rasta Snake anyway, so gonna be happy getting that kill. 292 gold. That was a high roll, actually. Plenty of gold.
Witchblade for Sunil is arriving now, so I think we're going to smoke up as soon as it's available. We have Witchblade Pipe And the Batrider has Blink Lasso, so...
And the
man, you're so
Rune
close to
bottled up.
4-star, but... Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Yeah, this is goal timing. Again, they could perhaps bait with Noob, just pushing a lane like he has been doing. He's been selling this for a while, you know, just running down the lanes.
They might come across the Abaddon. They see his illusions, but they also recognize just how unpalatable a target that he is.
Yeah.
So I doubt we'll see them overcommit for this one. And yep, the cooler heads prevail. They decide to back off.
They could maybe go for it, but it's such a risky spot. And even if you reload in, I mean, you're just gonna have to fight in a place where you're gonna get outnumbered by TP reactions.
Mr. Navi are busy pushing through bottom, and the team is coming. Stormspirit came through with the Twin Gate, and they're gonna go towards Ari. Gets zipped upon, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about this. Omar quickly kills him off, and they could still decide to go for more. Sumail looking towards Boom and Kaori. Once Kaori first, Demicade will protect this Warlock for now. There's a silence still going in onto Sumail. The Sonic Wave, it misses the Storm Spirit. Hits the Batrider, sure, but Sumail is still alive, and now with the Vortex, he's bringing Copy back. Copy needs to get out. Here are Noob and the Gyrocopter trying to lay out the damage, but Juragi, he's just posting up into Noob's face, driving this Beastmaster away. They do force the ultimate out of him. Ghost decides to go back with this IO. Immediately they TP out on the Beastmaster as well. So they leave the fight from Nigma. So it ends up just being a 1-for-1 affair in the end.
They're keeping up top. They're chasing. They want the IO again. No Queen ulti, but still big damage.
They're gonna try for it. They get the shackles out onto the Gyrocopter. Copy chasing in onto GH. There's the chaotic offering drop down as well. But Copy's the one that's dying. The Gyrocopter damage is a little bit too substantial. They TP out with the IO. Nightfall, BKB TP out, done by Ghost. And that's it. Aggression's over. At the very least, though, they do defend the tower, but it did cost an ultimate or two to make that happen.
And this is the hardest Gyro to kill that I've seen this early on in a game. He's already at 25 minutes, 3,000 HP, has an IO that's constantly healing him, and he has a BKB built into that inventory as well. So this is just very, very difficult to burst.
All right, speaking of difficult to burst, Juragi is on that list, but he blinks away. Just finished the item, too. Keeps him alive. Waste a little bit of time from the rest of Nigma Galaxy.
Good tool to have, of course. The Aphotic Shield allowing him to always blink in safety like that.
Oh.
Tension
Look
going
at
down
some of
to
these
bottom.
neutrals. This might be the fewest Dormant Curios I've ever seen in a pro game before, up until this point. It's only one.
Yeah, not too many dormants. I don't know. Sometimes I've seen games with like 7 or something. Pro players do like to try it out. I still think that, you know, there's certain value in some of the other items, though. Some of the early tier 1 items are crazy good. Like Spark Courage, for instance, and a damage dealer. If you get that with the damage enchantment, it's just a massive increase in DPS.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
For Navi, they're trying to get a massive increase in DPS on this Abaddon, and he's building into an Orchid. And it'll be easier to build that if you can find some kills. So Navi, they smoke up, heading on the map. They do have this very nice observer ward that scouts out Noob, so the Beastmaster is underneath their vision. They're running straight towards him. Will he realize this in time? It does not seem like it.
Oh, he's
I
in
think
trouble.
we're steering towards a dead beast.
Oh,
He's gonna try.
TP,
No
but
way, no way,
not
no
in
way,
time.
no way, no way, no way!
No, he can't get past the pillar as well. They don't have the blink on the Rasta yet. The Ether Lens Rasta, of course, it feels amazing to have Ether Lens, but sometimes you wish you were a little bit closer. Maybe I have had that blink.
It's actually a big catch right now that they're finding onto Boom, because they're gonna bring in the Gyrocopter with the IO, hoping to find the damage, but the shackles from Ari, making sure that the Gyrocopter can't doing what he keeps doing what he's doing. They want to kill GH before the relocate finishes, but now here comes Sumail. They dish in the damage, they kill off the Shadow Shaman. Boom, hoping to turn the fight towards Sumail to get the silence out on top of him. He does manage to get away, just barely. Sonic Wave will be there. Sumail still living as the IO does go down, but now Sumail is out of mana. He doesn't have a way out of this fight. Can he zip away at the end? No. Dies to the Fatal Bonds. Gyrocopter at the very least able to TP into the fountain, but all he can do is watch as the rest of his team cannot do the same. Noob now surrounded by Navi, killed off. A triple kill for Kaori. Carry Warlock, baby. You saw it here first.
I mean, as the Warlock did, Fatal Bonds is doing so much work. The IO came back into the fight, tried to heal people up, but he still had Fatal Bonds on him. So he dies because the Storm and the Gyrocopter were taking damage. And until he gets some form of Dispel, it's gonna stay this way. He is building towards a BKB on the IO, and he wishes he had it in that fight.
BKB IO, you know.
I would have expected maybe a Lotus Orb, you know, to dispel your teammates, to get rid of the Lotus.
Lotus Orb, Guardian Grease, since he already has Mech, there's options available, but nah. He's actually gonna reload. He's gonna go steal the shrine here while Navi is busy taking Roche. Man, this Ari, if they had the BKB out earlier from the Gyrocopter, they maybe could have killed off Boom, but that long range, long duration shackles really did turn this fight around. Oh, hold on, go back in. There's gonna be a long lasso, dragging Copy outside of the Roshan pit with the homing missile flying towards his face. They have halted the Roche attempt for now.
That was a quick shield again by Uragi. He's really on point with his Photic Shield reactions to the lasso.
Boom, coming with the Rolling Thunder. They do manage to get the kill out onto Omar. Copy unable to finish him off. The Rolling Thunder connected onto Noob, but he's not the biggest target. At the very least, though, Copy will be there. They find the damage out. Noob forced to drop. The ultimate is not going to be enough. At the same time, there's a chaotic offering on the back edge of the fight, isolating the gyro, leaving him very far from Noob. So Beastmaster ends up dead, and now Ghost has to fight the world on his back. He's trying his best. Flak Cannon going everywhere. He's dishing out the damage. He's already got a double kill. He's about to get a triple as they bring down the Shadow Shaman too. Slip in from Sumail. He finds Copy, finds the Queen of Pain. The Queen's gonna try get in the tree. He's gonna try get out. HY was right. It's the correct decision as Uragi also backstabs them to bring down Ghost, ending the dominating streak of the Gyrocopter.
Wow, what a
as the
kill.
chaos finally settles down. The fight ends 3-4-2, but man, what an engagement here on the top side of the map.
I mean, they salvaged the entire fight there with the Gyro kill towards the end, just staying on him with the Golem and then finally going on him with the Abaddon, blinking in like an assassin, just getting in there. And that will allow him to finish up his Orchid. So that's going to make the game more annoying for the Storm, who does not yet have a BKB. Now he has to deal with multiple control tools, the Shard Silence from Queen of Pain, the Silence from Orchid. It's getting a bit difficult. And also, Queen itemized for an Aghanim Scepter as well. I really like that against IO, because you can very easily spill a lot of damage between the two of them.
I will say, I love how they broke up this fight, just forcing them into two separate locations. Even the Sonic Wave to make sure that Ghost couldn't approach. Like, this is very smart stuff from Navi.
Yeah, in live, it's just a bit of tentative poking, so no fight breaking out. We can enjoy the replay here of what happened. And look towards the very end, how, you know, here, Ghost finds a ton of kills. But then they just lock onto a Gyrocopter when I thought everyone was completely fine on Dire.
Yeah. Good turnaround there. Copy, very lucky to get out of that fight, I must say.
Yeah, that blink in. The blink paying dividends for the Abaddon.
Now the BKB for the Sayo will not fall prey to any of these shenanigans in the midst of the fights anymore. There will be a Roshan attempt. Giga Ward dropped inside the pit. However, Nigma clearly do know about this. The Roar has gone out. Flame Break will be there. And they're thinking about the approach. Very low on the Roche. They gotta go now if they want to make anything happen. But they are too late. Copy able to snag up the Roshan. Nigma Galaxy, are they overcommitted? Yes, they are. They're gonna still try and take the fight. Nice hex from Ari onto Sumail, preventing the Storm from doing his thing. But it will not matter. Omar got the catch onto Kaori, dragged in the Warlock. The Gyrocopter damage is there. So both supports will go down. And for two supports, that's a lot of gold to be given away. Mid lane, Uragi being gone on by Sumail. They maybe want to try and bring down this Abaddon, but he pops the borrow time, he blinks away to safety, so he'll be okay.
Still big damage for them there coming in, getting two supports and now pressuring back the Abaddon, forcing his ulti on cooldown. Copy though, with Aegis in hand, is just standing here throwing a big question mark at them, like, what are you gonna do if I defend? He is queuing up the Lincolns that I mentioned in the draft. It's gonna be a very big item in this game. If she gets her hands on that, she will be really obstructive. Hard to lock her down with the heroes that you have.
What I'm loving about this game, when I look at the map, I see both teams have the same amount of CR2 towers left. I see both teams have 15 kills. I see that there is no gold lead. I see that there's basically no experience lead. Love. This means we're gonna get some late game Dota, Waka. You excited, bruh?
Anyone's game. Anyone's game. Either late game Dota or some explosive stuff in the mid game anyway. So both teams off to a decent start. And I would say that I give, you know, a bit of a dire advantage as we head later and later. So perhaps a bit of pressure on Navi to make stuff happen with his Warlock ulti, the Serpent Wards, with the Aegis they now have in hands. You don't want to go quietly into late game against the Beastmaster Storm and Gyro. That's gonna hurt.
Speaking of Gyro, he's busy taking the Tormentor right now. He did just pick up an NKB as well, so they do finally have some Pierce to get through this Radiance evasion. At the same time, they also just picked up a BKB on the Storm Spirit. If not for the fact that Navi had an Aegis, I'd say you definitely want to smoke right now. This is a crazy power spike.
Yeah, it's really big timing. And maybe you want to smoke anyway, because it's still 3 minutes for that Aegis to time out. I wonder if they're going to be patient enough to not do anything for 3 more minutes. You just kind of lose your mid tower. It's difficult to stay active on the map this way. Starting to group up.
Doesn't seem like they'll be given a choice. They have to come back. Sonic Wave is committed onto Sumail. They can't kill him just yet. Copy has the lasso immediately dispelled off of him, but here's the gyrocopter right-click damage. Good God.
Big damage coming out from him, but quick reactions. Uragi, I don't know, that was like the 4th or 5th time this game that he basically immediately dispels the lasso. Just, I don't know, he's so ready for these plays. You have to do something to the Abaddon, or he's always going to be there to save his friends.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Oh, we'll see if there's anybody available to save this tier 2 tower.
He's got a basher now as well. Smoke
Oh, good job. They find the gyro. Sonic Wave is out. Ghost is in trouble. He does get a BKB or GH in the B there as well. The chaotic offering stunning them both. They finally get them back though. Gyro putting the damage back. In the meantime, Omar gets assassinated on the far side of the fight. And Sumail trying to chase down Ari, looking for the Shadow Shaman. Will be able to get him, but can he get out is the question. The answer is yes for now. On the high ground, Copy's still chasing him. Uragi is there as well with the Blink Dagger. They catch up to the Storm Spirit and they do kill him. It's a 2-for-1 exchange, but one that really hurts Nigma because they don't have buyback on Sumail.
Yeah, relocate was used to try and keep people alive there and try and keep them healthy, but there's just so much damage coming out from Abaddon and Queen of Pain. Like, they focused on going on the Pangolier, but I think he's perfectly happy with that. The Pulse 1 and Pulse 2 are doing all the damage needed.
Oh my gosh. Gyro,
Yes.
the big damage engine. Actually, can we see total team damage numbers? I want to see how far ahead Gyro is from the crew.
It'd be interesting to see the distribution here, what they have done. Okay. That's quite a bit, but Queen is ahead of him. You know, she got some pure damage in the mix there as well.
Oh,
So
man.
this Agonist after Queen, she is having a field day. Level 23, getting closer and closer to that level 25 power spike as well.
Did you see that Kaori has more damage dealt than Sumail right now?
Oh no, is it true? Well, it's the Warlock, man. The Fatal Bonds, it's too good.
Now he's trying to leverage upheaval to put in some push on the high ground. Nigma will be back to bounce this off. And they can't be too greedy because they only have this Aegis for another 15 seconds. So probably the right time to back off.
And I like the positioning that they're holding, just playing aggressively on the triangle.
Radiant are scanning.
Even with the Aegis is timing out, they still want to shut down Nigma's farm.
Omar is trying to go on the side. He has already activated the Firefly, but in comes Boom looking for the Rolling Thunder. Ghost gets off the BKB first though. Sumail wants to try to bring down these support. They get on top of Kaori. He's not going to die though. The Sonic Wave pushing Sumail and Omar back. They've already managed to bring down Omar. Sumail follows him into the grave and they get the doubles. Nobody is going to be able to defend this tier 2 tower. Uragi will just post up, take it down, and set his sights on the high ground.
Man, that is rough for Storm. He had BKB going, but he got bashed towards the very tail end of it. And he had mana to try and escape. Could have tried to get to safety, but no.
Navi now looking for their first lane of racks here. They've already massaged the tier 3 tower top and middle. Tier 3 middle finally goes down. 50 seconds, no Sumail. So that means not really initiation because it's very clear that Omar cannot initiate for you. This W from the Abaddon is just way too fast from Uragi.
Yeah, they don't have a good solution, and you can't go on the Abaddon either. You can either, you know, just pop his borrowed time, or you're going on an Abaddon, which feels awful in the first place. And that's one lane already claimed, going for the next one. Uragi, no signs of stopping.
Thinking about the road, gonna go in, they connect onto Ghost. There's no BKB available for this gyrocopter. Chaotic offering is out as well. Ghost is dead. Unstoppable streak for Uragi. Boom rolls back in onto GH. They kill off the IO. In the meantime, Omar's already lost his life, and so does Noob as he gets railed through with a Sonic Wave. Nigma, everybody's dead, their base is in shambles, and the GGs do not feel like they are very far away. Now, they're actually trying to force the issue. They're going to force some buybacks coming in from Nigma. They also get the catch onto Uragi. Uragi went too far forward. He actually ends up dead. Sumail unable to catch Kaori, thanks to the Glimmer Cape, allowing him to survive. But what a catch and kill. Expensive, but very, very necessary for Nigma.
I mean, that was Uragi on some pub autopilot right there, going into the enemy fountain to try and buy stuff, you know. Oh, let me pick up items here, but he gets punished.
Oh no, Ghost, he can't die here, he can't die here. This could be a game-losing death, and indeed it is. He dies back on the gyrocopter. Sumail doing what he can against Copion's Boom, but what he can do is somewhat limited here. They at least get back to the base with Omar, but 95 seconds, no gyrocopter available for you.
Yeah, they can just go. The Queen of Pain is massive, level 25 at this stage. Even if they don't have their Abaddon yet, he will respawn in time to the outpost and push before the gyrocopter is up. They can just meanwhile work on the mega creeps. They don't have to hard commit for the throne yet. Attack speed coming in here as well from the Solar Crest and Upheaval.
Upheaval Imps. A very silly, honestly, ability. Just kind of hilarious to look at. Sumail.
Rax is slowly falling, working on the range racks first, knowing that all that is unhealable damage, as we say.
Omar gets the blink in. They will not actually abandon to break this in time. There is going to be a Aurora as well. But where is the damage? Boom just goes ahead and kills with Omar on the backline of the fight. And now when the stuns are down, Copy is free to do what he wants. Blinks in to silence Sumail, hits him with a Sonic Wave, kills both him and Noob. And as the IO just has to watch in complete impotence as he can do nothing. It's a triple kill for Boom. There's multiple buybacks from Nigma, but it will not matter. GG Wall Plate has been called. Navi, who knows if...
Feels nice. Reminds me of when I first got the VR headset and watched some games in Dota. It was actually a pretty good experience to use it to watch replays. Even though it wasn't really ironed out fully, it was cool to have, you know, a different way to watch. That's so long ago now, though.
Here we are. Could potentially be the final game of this evening. In this series, Nigma need the W to go to game 3. But Navi want to prevent them from getting there. And outside of this Medusa, right? This Medusa is definitely going to pose a massive, massive problem. The first 4 heroes, though, I think Navi have an incredibly good solution for everything. It's just this Dusa, man.
Yeah, and one Dusa can truly become the one hero to solve everything as well. So if she gets that farm that she needs, then she can carry this game, you know, definitely if we head to the mid and late game. And we're using the smoked illusions to try and scout where the enemy are. Nice little move that you can do with Naga.
It's many things. I'm not sure nice is the word I'd use to describe this.
Meanwhile, we have Shaker setting up to do a not so nice thing as well. He's going to Fissure block his first creep wave to get it back really far. It does mean he's not playing on the runes, so they might go 1 for 3 on the runes. And that's going to happen.
Well, Noob is telling his team, don't worry, gang. I will make up for it in the laning phase. I'll get the early enough Blink Dagger to justify this.
Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't do this, then it's an unlaneable lane, I think. Going into the SF Naga is going to hurt so badly. Especially on level 2 Power Spike.
Yeah, level 2, 3 is really, really scary. I think it depends on what Uragi wants to build. Does he want to go 2 points raises? If he does go 2 points raises, somebody will die at level 3.
Yeah, definitely. It's like a guarantee with the Ensnare and the double race. It's just impossible to survive it. But we've seen carry SFs a lot of time kind of wanting not to hard commit to it. Maybe just get a single point and then go back for a right click. We'll see what he does.
Well, here we are underway. Game 2. Mid lane Copy versus Sumail, the Kunkka versus the Slaughter.
More Timber.
Oh no, Boom goes down. GH. Okay, they just decide to do the 3 hero combination, giving us some flashbacks to the tri-lane days. Get a quick kill onto Boom. Very nicely done.
That's a good way to start out. If you're going to have a bad lane top anyway, then you might as well look to make your safe lane have a better start. So Omar, good choice to stick around down bottom together with his team. That will make Timber's life a little bit harder.
So talk to me about this mid lane matchup. What should we be expecting here, Kunkka versus Slaughter?
I think overall this matchup is Slaughter favored, but if you survive to level 5 without too much damage done, then Kunkka starts to recover. It's about Tidebringer getting low enough cooldown to start spamming it and, you know, dealing some damage back to the Slaughter. But right now it's difficult. Now is the struggle time.
Speaking of struggles, of course, Noob is going to be experiencing a lot of his own, but Omar dutifully brings him the creep wave here. Shout out my dog. Giving Noob an actual game. Like you said, if they don't do shenanigans in the top lane, it's actually impossible for Noob to play. I like that he's not even thinking about approaching near where the SF is.
Yeah, this is the correct way to try and approach this lane. Definitely don't want to just go up and get raised for no reason. This bottom lane, quite a bit of damage done back to the ET as he goes in to try and deal some smacks.
That was good positioning for that Timbersaw. Demolishing the trees right in front of him, but things still relatively chilled for now. On Uragi, what build do you want to see from this carry SF in this game?
I think I like the idea of going for like early Power Treads Mask of Madness build, to be honest. He right now has queued up the Falcon Blade though, so telling me that he's probably going to rely a little bit more on the Racist and spell farming. Otherwise, you wouldn't go for this. Oh, the pullback. We see it in action up top. Gets him pretty damn low on the Shaker, even had to commit his magic stick.
Well, he's now got level 3 and he does indeed commit to the 2 points raiser, so the next time Noob is next to Kaori, he'll die for that one. He needs to be very careful about his positioning now. Doesn't have any raindrops just yet. He's still trying to queue those up. So his death can emerge before he's ready. So can Omar's. They both need to watch themselves from being massaged by this Naga Siren.
Yeah, and there comes the pull.
Here they go. Here's a real nice Bramble Maze with the fissure immediately. It doesn't allow Uragi to go over it to find the angle for the raises. Good job by the players of Nigma.
Yeah, smart by Noob. That's what he needs to do. The moment that the real in starts, if he fissures, then he might be safe still. And he'll manage to stun the SF at the same time as well, delaying his impact. Yeah, they're trying to do whatever damage they can before doing the real in combo. It's like doing the prep work, right? Before you go for a kill, you need to at least do a bit of damage here and there. Like you say, massage the enemy down.
On bottom, some massaging is happening towards Boom as Ghost is just throwing in this Mystic Snake. I must say, you know, sometimes you pick Timbersaw, penultimate pick, you're thinking, damn, this is going to just own the game or whatever. And then you end up in a lane that you were wanting to come in and start dominating. Then you play against DOTA. And you're like, oh, well, I guess it's a different game than I thought. GH, though, just ran headlong into Ari. Loses half of his HP for his efforts there.
He's got Tranquils, so he'll be fine. He's going to heal up soon again. But yeah, definitely can be difficult, especially when you have one of those psychopath heroes like Undying or ET who just run at you and constantly deal damage. There's some +5 heroes that just, they're more relentless than others, let's say.
Uragi's still just farming away, chilling. He is second in the CS department right now. Actually, speaking of heroes we don't always get to see, what happened to Hoodwink? Like, she sort of just disappeared off the face of the map in the meta.
Yeah, it was after she got some nerfs to the what's it called, her facet, the tree bound one.
We'll talk about it in a second as they quickly kill. Oh no, it's just GH, it's fine, keep going.
Yeah, but she used to have the really annoying facet. Now the go nuts facet is a little bit nerfed. You still have to go for it, but what I want to see is Hoodwinks start playing around the other facet. I want him to keep buffing the fast cast, the hip shot facet. So you have low cooldown ulti and can just spam it and really play more around breaking and non-stop fighting. But we have yet to see the day when that facet becomes really viable.
I've only seen one game with that facet, and it was the most hilarious thing to me because when they used Sharpshooter, I was like, what the hell? Why are they turning so quickly, you know?
Yeah.
They're strafing like they're playing Counter-Strike. What's going on here?
It's real quick, but you're always just feeling like, damn, if only I had like 200 more damage on this ulti, you know, that would have been a kill. And then you're like, yeah, I did this to myself. There are some enormous stacks, by the way. God damn.
Yeah. Mid lane, we're gonna have a little bit of a conflict here because the first bolt of the game will crash in onto Slaughter. Copy is very low, but Kaori also dropping behind a blood grenade onto GH, who eats a corrosive haze. He'll be the first one to die here. Copy, no, he doesn't die. They tried with the acorn shot. It's not necessary though. Eventually they find the tick off thanks to some creeps providing the damage.
The creeps got both the kills for them. I think the catapult got both the last hits. MVP catapult right there. Blood grenade helped tick him down, of course. He could not get to safety. He had a bottle charge, but difficult to get that out when you're ticking down from a grenade. But yeah, these jungle stacks are going to be a fast way back into the game. I think they're going to use it for the Shaker to go and ulti it, since he's having such a bad game. If he gets level 6, goes here, get an Echo Slam, he's back in the game.
We'll see if Ari is able to get vision of this area. He's in the vicinity right now.
Oh.
They were hoping to try and invade on the shrine. The Fissure will ensure that they get the shrine, but they might still lose Noob's life with this one. What a stun from the Kunkka! Sumail is here trying to protect his life. Sadly though, he will fail. Noob still ends up going down. Now Sumail needs to flee. Fortunately for him, the Bushwhack will not connect, and the Slaughter does not have Blink Dagger, so he gets out safely, but Noob is just continuing to struggle.
Yeah, that was still a very heads-up Fissure, though. Landing the Fissure, preventing them to go in. Was just barely enough to secure himself the Wisdom, so sure he died, but he got something, and while you're this weak in the top lane, I think anything you can get, you should be happy about. They're trying to play around the top area because they don't want an invasion on these stacks. SF could just clear this out so quickly. I think Kunkka is just saying, I'm taking this before SF makes a move in here.
That was my concern as well when I saw them pressuring the tier 1 tower. If you let them have that building, then they also take the stack. So
yeah,
Nigma did the right thing by bringing everybody to defend. And unfortunately, it will also require all of them to farm through. Noob is not going to get as much as he'd like because Sumail, like you said, wants all of the juice right now.
He's 1 EXP away from being able to ulti as well. 679 out of 680 experience. No farming the ancient camp just yet.
He might die though. They're coming towards him. Naga is here. Kaori has the reel in, and Yuragi, of course, has the triple raises. There's number 1. Fissure, good job coming in by Noob. Will open up the space for Omar to be able to escape in that situation. Echo Stomp also connects onto him. Maybe do they follow this up? GH is here. Sumail finds the X marks.
Oh,
Will there be a boat? Not just yet. Beautiful Requiem thrown out by Yuragi to keep everybody at bay.
Yeah, the X mark dodged by the Naga Siren mirror image usage, so nicely done there. And now we saw the Echo Slam finally committed for this Ancient. Sadly, there's no big camp, so he doesn't insta-kill all the creeps, but he just bring them down with a little bit of help. Careful.
Oh my god, he's actually almost dead.
Careful. We already had someone dying to neutrals earlier today. We don't want a repeat. And there wasn't even a tick back then.
Yeah. Oh. 60 damage, he survives, he gets out of this one. Almost has his Blink Dagger. As his counterpart on Boom is also going for the early Blink on this Timbersaw, so presumably Blink higher into the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, looks like it. Looks like it. And honestly, I think Shaker should be very happy with how farmed he is considering the lane he was in. And more to that, the Slaughter, despite having a really good lane and a matchup against Kunkka, he is now finding himself massively out-farmed. Made a few moves, ran around a little bit, and Slaughter does not farm creeps as fast as Kunkka. So when you make these moves, then you're investing time and not really getting farmed. Whereas Kunkka, look at him, just clearing stacks, getting big. There are stacks everywhere. Also, what is this game?
Farming simulator. I mean, everybody wants their neutrals, you know? People are seeing that, well, everyone has Dormant Curios. Slaughter and Naga still need to farm a bit to get to theirs. Wait, how many Curios are there? There's 3 of them so far. 2 Sparks of Courage, a Polywalk Charm, and a Cobalt Cup. Average stuff so far. Nothing really out of pocket.
I honestly think they should make it so that you get more tokens when you farm a stacked camp. The way we had it before, man. You used to find more neutral items when you had stacked camps, but now you don't. There's no bonus. It counts as clearing 1 creep camp, even though it was 5 stacks on it.
No way, bro. Can you just imagine how fast, like, these Lunas, these Kunkas, how fast they get their neutrals? Absolutely not, bro.
Hell yes, man. Of course. You need it. It's so satisfying. You go to Ancients, clear 1 Ancient stack, you get 5 neutral items for your team. Like, here you go. We're good now.
Again, I direct you all to Mr. Game Ruiner himself. Here he is. As he's in the top lane. They're hunting down Uragi. There will be a Bramble Maze terrorized. Do they have the damage? The Bedlam is out. Kunkka gets the X marks, not even really required. Omar could have solo killed him. You should have X marks onto the Ahri Hoodwink instead. Doesn't really matter though. Free kill onto SF, and this should lead into a tier 1 tower since they have a Siege Wagon as well.
Man, giving up to Omar though for that positioning. He just found himself in there like a hitman. And poor SF did not see it coming. He did go for the Mask of Madness, but we'll see if he is ever allowed to find that free farm that you want on SF. The attention towards top lane has been pretty high this game.
You know where there's been no attention, my friend? Onto the Medusa. Look at the Snake Lady go. Top of the net worth right now.
Medusa farming, so much fun.
Hoodwink just dies. Honestly, I'm one of those people that really does enjoy watching farming. I could farm and watch farming all day.
As a carry player, you know, I'm a mid/carry, right? I played it too, so I'm all for it. And if I do play mid, I'm a greedy mid anyway, so it's basically carry. Hitting creeps is enjoyable to me, but some people, you know, they see this Medusa and they're like, how can anyone do this? But I bet you Ghost, he's in the same spot. He's like, I could just hit creeps all day. As long as there's a payoff towards the end where you're super farmed and everyone else is poor, you know, you get to finally experience that power trip. Kill all the enemies up top.
Top lane. Both supports are here of Ahri and Kaori. Sumail and the gang, they've been very lackluster with how they've been approaching this push, so Ahri and Kaori have been able to make this take a lot longer than it should have otherwise, and Sumail has had enough. Gets to Ahri, wants to be able to kill him off, and they should have the damage to make this one happen. Oh, nice. Omar hit him with the Shadow Realm hit, and Kaori, that Song of the Siren actually prevented the sharpshooter damage from connecting onto these Nigma heroes.
Yeah, rough. He didn't have time to heal him up a little bit with the max HP regen. Not quite enough. So that should mean the top is pretty difficult to defend for them now. Medusa, meanwhile, is doing some work on the bottom tier 1 tower. This is a pressed situation for Navi.
Navi's going to try and force this fight in the top lane, though. Copy has his Blink Dagger, would like to be able to reveal it. Unfortunately, Nigma seems to have cottoned on that something's happening. They smoke themselves. They're going to try and get the high ground positioning here. Oh, no, even worse, they're leaving. They're all just going to bounce. They're out.
Yeah, they're going behind the
Navi,
Medusa.
this is a lot of wasted time.
This is for the Wisdom Rune, so they're playing. Nigma are very, very smart, man. They're ahead of their time, going towards the Wisdom already to set it up. Being pursued by at least a Timber, but this is just going to be some feed from Hoodwink.
Free Hoodwink kill. That will at least give the opportunity for the Naga sign on the other side to grab that Wisdom Shrine. But now, Boom, also in a little bit of a prickly scenario. Getting dragged back into the boat. Oh, the blink. Oh, beautiful blink away by Doom. Unfortunately, Noob was not able to catch up to him. He does find the fissure. Oh, man, but the angle. He can't progress through it, so no additional spells onto the Timber. Great outplays coming from him.
Damn, I did not think that he would live there, but beautiful blink out quickly from the boat combo. As Ghost is running down the Naga Siren, but he has more productive stuff than chasing a support, so back to farming it is.
Must suck to know that your life is less worth than half a wave, but it is what it is.
Well, you know, he just exists to bring some minus armor for the SF, and maybe an Ensnare here or there. They're actually looking at Medusa. 20 magic stick charges.
Do they have the juice for this one? Stone Gaze will come out from the Deuce as Boom also emerges quickly. The stuns will be there. Copy though is on the other side. Already has the corrosive haze out. They've already found the stun. Long range sharpshooter eviscerates her mana, and they do get the kill. To make matters worse, she actually had Manta flying in. So they kill the courier too. So when she respawns, she'll be spending 2 minutes without the Manta style.
Oof, that is some costly stuff right there. Smartar with the deep ward able to find that. And now with the pressure coming in, do you really want to defend this when Medusa dead? I guess some ultis were expended, but Sharpshooter is coming off cooldown. I mean, they really don't have a big cooldown dependency on Navi.
But Nigma are fighting tooth and nail from those top tier 1. They haven't lost the tier 1 tower yet, actually. 15 minutes into the game.
Yeah, but
This observer ward scouts Uragi. Well, they're gonna go for the fight. New fissure only onto illusions. They don't find the target they were looking for. Bushwhack though does find Omar. Ahri throws in the acorn shot, and they're thinking about it. Copy really wants to make the jump, but it's a dangerous place to be.
Yeah, he He's looking for an angle all the time, wants to get the jump for his team, but as SF is back farming the Ancients, I think it's going to die down a little bit up here. And back to room control instead. Arcane.
Of course, with 9 heroes being top, the big winner of all of this is the Medusa, who is solo farming bottom.
Yep, she's working towards a butterfly next item. I can't really fault that. That's a standard build and looks amazing in this game. I mean, one of the best things you could ever have against Slardar is evasion. He absolutely hates this item.
You see, the Sid Slaughter gets caught a little bit here in the river, but no real follow-up from the rest of Nigma Galaxy.
I think this area is so important to play because they're trying to establish control for the Roche. If they were able to take down a tier 1 tower on either side, really, but primarily Navi, then that could open up the possibility for Roche having the minus armor strats.
Four to 7 is the kill score. Navi haven't really been able to fully assert themselves on the map. So as they watch this Ghost to Medusa farming, at least they're thinking about, well, Yoragi is getting closer towards having the BKB available. Then we'll feel a lot more confident. In scenarios like this, we can just post up. Even if they show up, we just BKB and drive through them anyway.
Yeah, he's laying into a tower, though the tier 1 is not really being defended anymore. They put up a good fight for a long time, but instead they're just clearing the Ancients right now, trying to get away with all the money before an invasion comes in. That is a lot of camp stacked in this amount of time, dude. That's some high numbers.
You know, in retrospect, with all of these camps being stacked and how much time has been spent farming, I really feel that if Sumail had bought Radiance instead of going for the Blade Mail BKB, it could have been so useful in this game. You're just talking about Slaughter hating to have evasion on him. The same is true for the SF. Doesn't really like having to deal with going past all of that mischance. So I really would have preferred to see the Radiance instead of this BKB.
I think I generally agree. Ronan, hold up.
Mid lane.
Fine. Trying to turn
Copy
it.
might not be fine. The X is coming in. Bedlam is out. They're going in towards him. Both crashes onto Kaori, and it provides the damage necessary to kill Copy.
Damn, second time he doesn't manage to save with the song. It was a nice attempt, but the bolt from Sumail. I was gonna say that I think I agree with you on the Radiance, that it would be nice, I could feel it, but I think mentality is the important thing. His mentality right now is, let's survive the early game, Naga will carry this game if we survive. Great Echo Slam onto the Hoodwink. Hello and goodbye.
Ghost is actually the one that gets the credit for that kill, despite doing nothing but A-clicking.
As a carry should. The best part is when you get a kill and you don't even know. You didn't see the enemy. You just randomly split-shotting something.
No. I can tell you the best carry feeling. The best carry feeling is when you end the game with like the second most kills on your team, but you simultaneously have some of the least damage being dealt. Oh, that's beautiful.
There we go, yeah. SF wasting no time, realizing the threat that is the late game Medusa. He's starting to play towards the towers more and more. Took the top tier 1, going for the bottom tier 1, opening up the field a bit. This will give him his BKB in just 100 gold.
He'll just race through the camp, and then you should have the BKB. While that's happening, Ghost and the gang are trying to get through their own tier 1 tower. And that, you know, BKB finish, yes, for the SF, but Medusa will utilize this to finish off a full butterfly.
Yeah.
It's practically, well, would have been finished faster if she got the last hit, but you can't have everything in life.
He's very close. One more man-style usage, push the lane, and he's gonna get it. Farm some ancient creeps as well. Meanwhile, the move is for mid-tower, so SF just going tower to tower, not even waiting for the creeps to arrive. He's just saying, yeah, I'm hitting this.
I mean, with the D-Lance, he's outside of the tower ring, right? So he can just be chilling. He will get X now, but unfortunately, that's just as the BKB arrives. Copy also jumps the backline. They're looking for GH, but the ET splitter demolishes Boom and Copy. Both of them die in the blink of an eye. GH God. And now Sumail trying to chase down onto Ari. The Hoodwink doing her best to try and get out of danger. She will succeed, but will Kaori? Does not seem like it. Fissure as well to interrupt the TP. He ends up dead. And it's a 3-for-0 affair. The Illusions, at the very least, do claim the tower, but Nigma Galaxy very happy with that trade.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to see the amount of teamfight control they have. Kunkka, Shaker, Willow, and ET. I mean, when the worst teamfight control they have is Medusa, who's pretty damn good, by the way, with the Stone Gaze, then you know that you're dealing with a team that's hard to fight into without the BKB timings. And sadly, for Slardar, he doesn't have one. Same for the Timbersaw, doesn't have Aghanim's, doesn't have BKB.
What a splitter from GH. He
The
dealt
Fisher
almost
reaction and
2,000
the
damage
splitter.
in that fight.
Yeah, enormous. I mean,
Well, will be
GG
rewarded
was
for the effort
also
of the
something
Roshan.
I've seen recently, and the same thing there. He landed some crazy splitters. This man, he just knows how to land those ultis in a way that a lot of ETs don't really get those angles.
It's almost like this guy's a TI winning level player.
I don't know, man. He's pretty good. He might be something one day, you know.
If he keeps his head down and keeps working hard, one day.
Yeah, in a few years maybe. Tormentor gets taken by the Minus Summer strat. Meanwhile, they lose out on the Roshan. So now with Aegis on Medusa, I do feel like Radiant might congregate around her.
Oh, Jules out onto the slaughter. He was just coming to try and take away this wave, but will pay for it with his life. He still doesn't have that BKB. In the meantime, they also caught out Ori. Got brought back into his death by Sumail and Noob. So 2 heroes down, more pressure onto the tier 2 tower, and more gold towards Medusa.
Things are going from bad to worse very quickly. We already mentioned how much control they have, and then you add in the Yule Scepter from Willow. It almost feels like cheating, you know. He has even more setup now for his team. He's making sure the illusion doesn't cut the creep wave. Yule Sceptering and stunning the illusion as Medusa needs to get the next creep wave to take this tower.
It is a bit distressing that we have to resort to lane cutting shenanigans as Naga 22 minutes into the game.
It's I think the last pick Medusa was just not really something Navi prepared for, and now they're having to deal with consequences. They don't have good spells against her. They don't have good minus or any damage reduction for her as well. So she is just basically doing whatever she wants.
Okay, hear me out, bro. At some point, if he can get there, right? If he can get there, you probably won't.
Okay.
But if SF could get to Disperser, maybe. I don't think he will, but maybe.
Well, we'll see. He's queuing up the Daedalus for now. I think the game plan from Navi's point of view is let's kill everyone else faster than Medusa kills our heroes. And that's always a race that you don't really want to get yourself into, because Medusa is pretty good at disposing of heroes.
Well, to make matters worse, they also have so many tools to stall them out, right? You've got this Coco Run coming in from Sumail. You've got the Stomps, the Earth Splitters that can just delay proceedings for so much longer. Fissures that you have to walk around and you can't play straight into. It's very hard right now for the side of Navi, as they are 5k gold behind, playing into an Aegis, and they have been really struggling to find kills. I'm not going to try to do so right now. They're going to just allow this tier 2 tower bottom to fall, use this time to finish off their BKBs and perhaps a damage item for the SF.
Okay, so they have the Aghanim Scepter now on Timber. That is the biggest power spike they've had all game, I think. You're finally getting something, big defensive item that also can work aggressively. The downside is Willow already has that Yule Scepter, so if she's in the right spot, actually he also has it. Oh my god, the Aghanim Scepter is gonna be sad, dude. There's double dispel already. They can remove it. Oh, never mind. There's no power spike. Kill the supports and then you can Aghanims. There you go. That's the play.
Okay. Nice and simple. Well, a couple of years ago, we used to have this every single game. Once Medusa has Manta, Butterfly, Aegis, she's here on the high ground. Usually around the 25-minute mark, so Nigma are beating that old timing slightly. But just like in the old days, when she does this and you don't have any tools to deal with it, you just let her do what she needs to do. Huh?
She doesn't have the next creep wave though. And she went for melee Rax, so this Rax is gonna survive. Slaughter is cutting the next wave. Poppy saying, no, not today. They actually have to back up. They could have gotten the range Rax if they focused it from the start, but they're gonna have to walk away with no Rax taken. If we look at the goal difference, the game is still really close. It just feels inevitable right now that Radiant are running away with this game. But once the Aegis is out, then maybe there's some way to, construct a team fight that will not be awful.
Copy has enough money to buy a Chrysalis. He's just holding off for a second, thinking if he might need the MKB rather with this Demon Edge. Just really thinking about it.
You had me all excited for a second there when you say copy, but yeah, Uragi on this
Uragi,
SF.
my bad.
I was like, damn, you see? But on copy, he does have the full BKB right now, so his power spike is in. Aghanim is weak, and as you mentioned...
but he might be dead before he can connect that BKB, because he showed up in the wave, immediately got echoed by Noob. Well, he can collect the BKB by Express. They delivered it straight to the fountain, and he'll find it there.
He'll put it on his tombstone, man. As Medusa is going to be happy with the news that one hero is gone. She's going to just go straight back to what she started. That melee Rax has not fully recovered after last beating. He's back with the vengeance.
She has a full
and with the
Skadi. Yeah, so Skadi, Manta, Butterfly, Brigand's Blade, Power Treads, and Expiring Aegis, sure. But yeah, good luck. Good luck dealing with this hero.
It's looking real grim right now. I'm not sure how you want to take the fights on Dire. It's really difficult to say. You almost need to find them outnumbered, but Nigma are understanding this, of course, as well. So they play close to each other on the map. They have travels on Shaker anyway, so he can also rejoin if he does want to go and split somewhere.
Shaker also bought a Yules as well, so that's going to compound the miseries for the Simba.
Oh no, not a third Yules. We haven't seen a single Aghanims usage yet, and there's already 3 Yule Scepters.
Kaori? 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 Fisher's there. Oh, okay. Noob doesn't want to really make the jump onto the high ground. He was hoping that Kaori would go left.
He's just killing off the illusions at least.
Ghost, though, is posted up, and he's a little bit far away from the team. But jumping Ghost is definitely a suicidal play. They might lose Ari here, who's caught inside of the ancient camp. He will end up dead. Will Navi be able to avenge him?
Looking to go on the Willows.
Looking towards the supports. They still haven't jumped in just yet. Copy finally does make the initiation with the Requiem. It's on to DOTA though, but she found the Stone Gaze, so she's still good. Uragi actually got Stone Gazed. Terrorize will be there as well. He needs to get out of here. The Split Earth will be there. He actually dies.
Oh no.
Kaori just can't save anybody with the Song of the Siren. He's going to attempt to TP out now. Will Sumail find him? No. He gets out at the very least. But nobody he tries to save can do the same. And now Copy going to be forced to pull a Nightfall. BKB TP out on the 9-second version.
Yeah.
Would it be long enough to outlast the X? Yes, so he's okay.
Yeah, the early BKB is going to be fine against the X-Mark play. Nice try by Sumail, but not going to get him. Still though, GH, man, he's playing like a man possessed. He's just so good. The ET ulti there, canceling the TP out. That is just so rough, dude.
Well, for Navi, I guess now's a good time to start strategizing about Game 3, as Kaori is about to lose his life bottom. Tidal Wave pushes him back into Sumail. Noob, literally missing every spell. What the hell, bro?
The Naga innate evasion. Eel skin saved him.
Wow. Top lane, they're going on to Ghost here, and he has evasion coming in from the Butterfly. They actually just straight up kill Ari. That's a buyback though. In the meantime, BKB Timbersaw going in onto the back lines of these engagements. Activates the Ags as well, trying to do something here, but unfortunately, these heroes are just so tanky, and Ghost is just posted up on the front lines of the fight. Fissure coming back onto Boom as his BKB expires. Oh, the torrent with the Tidal Wave brings both him and Copy right to the Medusa. They both go down. Ghost just posting up right now, forcing a BKB out of Uragi by just standing still. And they know it's up. It's over. GG, well played has been called. The draft looks so promising, Waga, but this Medusa just broke it wide open for Nigma Galaxy.
Yeah, honestly, that was just one of those cases where last pick changed the entire balance. I was like, oh yeah, things are looking really good, it's all fine, but then you saw that Medusa and it's like, oh, yeah. But this honestly feels a little bit like they didn't do their own homework on their own strat. When you're running a minus or...
Want to give me a time prediction how long this game is going to last?
39 minutes. Is what I think.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I can totally see this going the distance, man. I could actually see both these teams have good high ground defense. We have fantastic stuff for protecting your racks on either side. So obviously this could go a long way. And honestly, I'm a little bit surprised we haven't had any game go to the hour mark. You know, in recent games on this patch that I've been casting, we've had plenty of games going the hour mark.
Well, let's hope that it's this one. The Sumail and the gang will be ready to try and get themselves a Game 3 victory. In this game, let's see, they have Doom Invoker, enemy team has Awkward, and so 3 Midases in the game, I think, right?
I would say so, yeah. 3, and then the clone coming in with his 4th, the copied version. At least. Sure hope we don't get to see some other random Midases where they shouldn't be.
Why not, bro? If we're going to get a 60-minute game anyway, you might as well make sure you have the economy to handle it.
Might as well. Well, mightest.
Lol. Top.
The top room.
Battle begins.
Let's see,
Difficult
GH
contest.
is gonna get there first, but the stomp comes out, but he gets the click first. Good job, GH God. And now, boom, they're just gonna harass him a little bit before he approaches the lane. Ari is there, of course, to zone back Omar. Are they gonna start with a tri lane again? Because GH and Omar, okay, never mind, Omar's changing direction.
Yeah, it looked like he was gonna head up there, but nice. He's gonna take the Watcher and TP down to join his Axe. I don't think you want to leave Axe alone against the TA. It's so difficult if you get off to a bad starter on that lane. So prioritizing him instead.
So we have had some strange mid lanes today, but I do not remember the last time in living memory where I've seen Arc Warden versus Invoker in a mid lane matchup. I'm sure you've played this matchup on either side. What should we be expecting?
I would say that this matchup is playable and okay for Invoker, but definitely still favored for Arc Warden. So I would say like 60-40 for Arc Warden. There's just less wiggle room for Invoker. If you make a little bit of errors, that you can quickly get punished. Whereas Arc Warden, you're kind of just continuously outranging, out-damaging, and you have good spells. So he should be doing just fine here.
So far, he's off to a good start. Top lane, we see Shadow Realm required already from Arya to get him away from danger. Then, of course, bottom is going to be a lot of spells being thrown about. What's he going to build here for this Arc Warden? What's the current meta build on the hero?
It's usually just Midas into Maelstrom type of stuff still. Obviously, we don't have the old Gleipnir, right? It's changed now to not be from the Maelstrom anymore. So that's a little bit of a loss. But I'm curious myself to see exactly what it's going to be beyond that. The Rush Midas is already in the inventory, so that's going to happen, but we'll see what route he wants to go for. I've seen a few people play around with the Agnum Scepter, but it's also looked very lackluster. If you don't get the early team fights, then you might just lose your impact. Omar gets run out.
In a bit of danger here. He's going to eat a Wave of Terror. Yuragi in with the right clicks, but Omar a little bit too speedy. Able to get away safely. He's fine.
He's all good, and this wave is pushing so much. Noob is getting a lot of farm against the TA. Already has a massive 5 creeps pushing in that you can fall back on. And Yuragi?
He actually might kill Yuragi. Noob has Call. Is he going to go for it? There's the Mel to try and protect him, but the TA been dragged out of it by the Berserker's Call. Yuragi trying to deny himself, but not able to do so. Noob finishes him off. First blood drawn by the axe in the offlane.
That was the cost of the early attempt onto the Jakiro's life. Omar baited them, they committed a lot of resources, and now the lane was so far up, TA just gets caught out of position.
Top lane, they're putting pressure onto GH as well. He does manage to get through the brambles, but that additional travel time allows Ari to land the second right click. So 1-1 across the lanes. First blood though still did go the way of Nigma.
Yeah. Ghost is gonna commit the Scorched Earth just to secure himself the Healing Lotus. Get himself some extra healing. And as for mid lane, already 18-8 for the Arc Warden. So doing a good job on mid lane against Sumail's Invoker.
Sumail will have to try and catch up. He's still... What's he bringing off the courier just now? Okay, just brought in some additional regen, but he'll finish off his wand. Soon, once he gets these raindrops, he should broadly be fine against the fear of death, but Copy's still going to be able to farm unimpeded.
I like that he went for a Bracer. I mean, normally we see some Wraith Bands coming out on Arc Warden, but being a universal hero, you do have access to going for any of the upgrades, of course. And Bracer is the most survivable one.
Do you remember, what, quad Wraith Band Arc Warden?
Oh yeah.
Good times.
Oh yeah. I still love the early aggression that you could put with that and the pressure, but obviously nowadays people really want to get their levels, want to get that Midas as soon as possible. So just a quick pit stop for one Bracer, doesn't upgrade the other one, and then back for the Midas.
The one who's really been struggling to find CS at the moment is Yuragi. Does have a fairly decent wave coming in underneath the tower, but both him and Kaori have had to chew through resources here. In fact, Kaori is ferrying in additional resources given the harass they've suffered down bottom.
I think a big part of that is Jakiro's impact in the lane. Like, Jakiro is just a stronger laning presence than Vengeful Spirit this early on. Sure, Vengeful will bring some minus armor, and later on it will have some nice utility with the ulti, but Jakiro, level 3, is already a monster.
Speaking of monsters, top lane, they might be trying to kill off... Oh, Sunstrike from Sumail! Okay, GH just debated them. I thought he was gonna die, but he was just setting them up. Beautifully done by Nigma.
as exactly what he needs on the mid lane as well. Since the matchup is, you know, not great against Arc Warden, Invoker depends on getting those side lane sunstrikes. Really, that's just true for Invoker in general this patch. He's not very oppressive as a laner, but he does have massive damage with sunstrike to side lanes.
Oh, it's gonna get him closer towards the objective of the Hand of Midas, as Noob pretty much has access to this Vanguard. Just needs to finish off one more creep or two. I'm just being reminded of these old days with double Vanguard axe.
Oh yeah, right. You give me memories of a darker time. There was a meta in Dota 1 where everyone just bought Vanguard because it had high enough damage block on ranged heroes, so people just bought it on everything. They had supports with Vanguard.
Well, speaking of Vanguard, he might not have it yet new, but still putting pressure out onto Yoragi, forcing him underneath the tower. They almost demolish immediately this refraction, and now the Vanguard has arrived. So this creep skipping will never stop. This is the life Yoragi has to deal with now.
6 minutes, the Arc Warden clone is here.
It is Sunstrike connecting onto Kaori, but not able to kill him off just yet. Sumail couldn't approach thanks to the Bramble Maze. There is an Echo Stomp from GH, but no ET Splitter to follow that up with. So just have to give up the rune. It was actually denied by Sumail. Good job by the Invoker there.
The Arc Warden is playing the runed replica facet, by the way, so it doesn't have the rune control, the rune capture with the magnetic field. It's Meteor comboed. Hello? Painful. Just a good catch from Sumail, and suddenly what was a good mid lane for Arc Warden, not looking so hot anymore.
Radiant structures are fortified. Dire are scanning.
Going on to the Axe.
Radiant's bottom
The TA.
Radiant are scanning. Dire scanning.
Alright, sorry, we have some technical issues. Seems we have lost Nair for a little bit. We'll see if he comes back, but meanwhile, we'll follow the action as the aggression coming in gets punished a bit. Noob got taken down after a deep dive. TA off to a pretty decent start now after what was a hard early game with her CSing. Getting herself involved in a kill, not too bad. Attention coming top though, Copy. Trying to set up maybe a catch onto anyone he can find here. TA also coming in, bringing all the cores. Stampede available if they want to dive GH. The moment they get vision on him, just gonna go on him. First quickly to fall, I believe, as nobody really reacts to this move. We have Doom nearby, but if he shows himself, again, that Stampede is still available.
Are fortified.
Glyph comes out and Jakiro's TP safely to try and make his way over to defend.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Waga, can you hear me? All right, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. I don't know. Looks like we have a lot of gremlins in the system today, but we're all good, right? We're back. We're Gucci.
Very nice.
All right.
Things happen.
Thankfully, not too much has happened, but there might be a kill onto Ghost. Stampede going towards it, but the Doom onto Boom. Not allowing for the stop, but it's not going to matter. Ultimately, Copy and Uragi have more than enough damage in the area. However, Copy's in danger. He's inside the macro pyre. Does manage to dodge the Sunstrike. Blood Grenade connects, but it's not going to kill him. He's going to be okay. And they just get 2 kills clean and clear. NAVI. Tier 1 tower as a reward as well.
Getting everything they want. I mean, this is perfect for them, opening up the map. And meanwhile, not really losing anything as well. The bottom side of the map is being held intact. Venge even setting up a little bit in case Axe shows himself aggressively. She could be there to swap and set up for her team.
Yeah. She is level 6 right now. And they're coming down with the TA. Ari is also here with his Dark Willow. They would love to find this. Kaori going for it, but Noob able to back off in time.
Looks like he's gonna stay safe.
Top lane. They might be going for a kill onto Boom here, but they don't have the Doom anymore, unfortunately. He will drop the Stomp. No Echo Stomp just yet from GH. They'll just be happy enough to zone him from the area. His bottom. Noob needs to be careful yet again. Kaori might still want to swap him, but the core went out onto the Templar Assassin. They did swap her out to save her, so the Sunstrike doesn't connect. Tornado from Sumail thrown in onto Kaori. So they'll have to settle for the Venge kill. We'll see if they can find any more. They might not need it. Noob happy to just claim the Culling Blade kill and move on.
I think they're still happy managing to hold on to a tier 1 tower. You know, important to not lose both your safe lane and your off lane tower. Instead, they're the ones who are now sieging up. They have Jakiro. Tower's already low HP. Arclight is kind of moving over, but still kind of far away.
Nope. Just gonna keep skip a little bit here. We'll get caught inside the Bramble Maze. So here comes Copy. Looking forward with the damage. And now they throw in the stun from Kaori as well. Noob is definitely gonna die. Uragi finishes it off with the Mel Strike. In the meantime, Nigma, they actually smoked up on their 2 supports, left the area, but there's no way for the smoke to go.
I'll see where they're gonna head. The smoke break by GH as he holds the high ground, but he will get punished for it. The swap comes out immediately.
Yep. He's gone. Unfortunately, they find out, well, actually the whole team was there down bottom, so the smoke wasn't really gonna get us anywhere.
Yeah. Invasion though by Copy, now farming away the enemy triangle a little bit, and they're eyeing up the tier 1 tower. Very active gameplay, by the way. The Arc Warden deciding to go for this Midas into Aghanim Scepter build with 0 points W, maxing Q and E, is really strong early game fighting build.
Stampede, they want Noob down bottom. They should be able to find him, but no, they don't want to overcommit for that one as they see the rainbow of TPs emerging from Nigma. So they'll let them do it. This Observer Ward will scout out all of these heroes, of course. I'm sure they now regret a little bit now that they see it's only the supports that came, none of the cores, that maybe they could have dove deeper. So that's why they stick around and try for the push again.
Yeah, you can throw the clone forward. If the Jakiro doesn't respect it, he might just get swapped here.
Indeed he does. Thrown back. Uragi not in position just yet, but they have the Flux going. Oh my god. Flux, Spark Raid, Copy should be able to secure this kill with the help of Uragi. Sunstrike though, Sumail doesn't connect. Kairi able to dodge it out like a boss.
Kaori, it's like he saw that one. He was like, nope, not walking into it, and then turns around again. Good dodging, and they do get both the Wisdom Runes on the back of this aggression. Just give themselves a bit of experience advantage, but meanwhile, Nigma, they're waiting for timings, and Blink Dagger is right around the corner now. Axe just needs this Ancient Camp. He will have Blink. That will give them a chance to maybe go and start something. This has been a bit of a weak moment for them, not having, you know, too much to fight with. Midas Doom, Midas Invoker, Axe without Blink, but all that changes with the Blink in hand.
Noob is approaching middle. He has an Invoker right in front of him. Atos, Sunstrike, Chaos Meteor. Well, Noob wasn't necessary, but at least you got to be a cheerleader. Moral support is nice.
He might go for more. The Arc Warden is here.
Copy gets caught. ET Splitter will be there as well, but it's just a little bit shy on the range. Copy might still end up dead here though, and indeed he does. Culling Blade will be there. Ari with a terrorize back onto Sumail. They send back this Invoker. They need the damage to kill him. They finally find it. Ghost in the meantime throws the Doom out onto the Centaur. Gets dragged in by Noob as well. They're chasing down Boom. They want to get this kill. Looks like he will take out, but Noob might overcommit for this one. He's very far forward. Can he get out of here? Berserker's Call for the bonus armor. He's spinning for his life. They actually have to leave him alone for now. Ice Path goes forward. Ari almost got dunked, but went into the Shadow Realm. Hit long enough that they turned the tables onto Noob. Beautifully done by the Dark Willow of Navi.
Whew, some aggression coming out from Nigma all of a sudden, but it pays off pretty well for them. Sure, you lost your Invoker and Axe in the end, but you also got some big kills, taking down the Arc Warden and the Centaur right after getting a pick off on Venge. So 3 kills for them on the mid lane. Not too shabby.
Whew. Ghost as well is able to utilize some of the gold he got from that fight to contribute towards his Midas. It's coming soon. On the other side though, TA has Desolator right now, so Yuragi starting to get into that danger territory of the Templar Assassin.
Yeah, he's off to a good start and finding a Haste Rune. He's looking for a pick on GH.
Yeah, they have Ari with them as well, so they'd love to get it. Noob though, get the call out onto Ari. There is a Venom going though, so Ari is doing a lot of damage. In the meantime, Yuragi got in on the backlines, decimates Omar, brings down Noob as well. And sure, they do lose Copy. Sumail able to take him out on the other side of the fight without his allies helping him. But if Navi are able to claim the tier 1 tower, this is a trade that they'll take all day, any day.
Yeah, definitely. This is where TA is happy as well, getting to activate this early with her team, taking away the towers. She's gonna go towards the Ancients, where there's already some stacks waiting for him as well. So 14 minutes or 16 minutes, he has 1400 gold. Deso Dragonlance going for the Blink Dagger.
You know, I was about to actually make a comment that he's farming well, but not yet at the pace that we saw from Parker. And then that happens, and he almost has the items. And it's like, oh, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, now he's back in that super steroid pace again. Just getting really, really big.
Bottom lane, we're gonna have a Sumail combo going out. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to get the full thing. The Terrorize messed him up a little bit.
Yeah, she also has a Yule Scepter, so tricky hero to go on at this point. And between that and Vengeful could also, if he's ready, just swap the Invoker when he tries to go for the combo on the Venge. It's not the easiest to get pickoffs now.
Boom. In the top lane, might blink forward towards Omar, but the Blink Dagger was unfortunately on cooldown, so the Jakiro able to flap his wings to safety. They pop Fortification. What was that for, actually?
I think... I'm not sure. Bottom wasn't really pushing, so I'm not sure what they glyphed there.
Well, probably
maybe
a
there was a meatball push on the creep wave or something from the Invoker, who knows.
Top lane, they swap back Noob. He's in trouble. Won't even be able to get off the Berserker's Call. He's dead in the blink of an eye. The worst part about it is that Ghost was right behind him, ready to come in and reveal this Radiance. Are unable to make it happen, so they have to just get back to farming, because what else can they do without the axe?
Yeah, without him, I think it's too hard to fight, but realizing this, Navi are wasting no time straight into Roche, and Navi are just playing really good Dota right now. The pace they're keeping is really, really high. They have good heroes for taking this Roche as well, with the Arc Warden, secure the area, even shoving in mid with this clone. Sure, the clone is gonna get killed off, but it tanked a meatball and some spells from Jakiro. It's all attention, smoke and mirrors while they take Roche.
Big Man is going to go down, giving the first Aegis of this game towards Navi, where I imagine it's going to be collected by Yuragi. And that is the case. He's going to pick it up, keep going on his farm routes. Now, without any contest, the most farmed hero on the map.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's flying ahead in farm, getting real big. Meanwhile, bottom, we have perhaps an attempt by at least the supports of Nigma, but without Axe, I just don't really know if they can get the pickoffs they want.
Yeah. We'll get an Echo Stomp out onto this Dark Willow.
Oh,
so Ari, wow. Damn, guys. What did Ari do?
Holy. He said something in the locker room or something.
Damn. Well,
I guess if you're Willow, you're like, well, guys, I died, but they used everything. I mean, that was a lot of spells. Splitter, Macro, and a Sunstrike as well to boot.
Wow. Okay.
This could be a big window for them to try and go for a move. We have a smoke on the Vengeful Spirits. He's being spotted by the ET and Astral Spirits, kind of chasing him. But definitely not impossible to see more plays around this Aghanim's Arc Warden.
He'll transition from that into a bot so he can just show up everywhere on the map. His counterpart, though, is about to get the critical item. This is going to be another power spike in favor of Nigma Galaxy. Once they pick up this Aghanim Scepter, Cataclysm being online will be a huge amount of damage output, but they definitely also still need to find those initial catches. Axe hasn't been able to do so for a while. Desperately needs to get to BKB.
Yeah, but when you have this Cataclysm, all you need is one good call. If he calls 3 heroes once this game, that's Cataclysm, and they just kind of run away with it from there. So have to be very, very cautious as Navi with your positioning. They get the Tormentor. No Cataclysm to mess with that. I've seen Invoker players get Aghanims in time for first Tormentor, and then just click a Cataclysm, and people have to dodge the Cataclysm, and then Tormentor dies to the Invoker. It's it's a tricky one. You stay, you die, you run away, he gets the shard.
We'll die for shard, bro.
Yeah,
Somebody's
we'll
got to take the death.
Yeah.
You see Kaori. Interestingly enough, at this point, after the Solar Crest, this is normally where we start to see the Vengeful Spirits queue up the Aghanim Scepter. We shall see if that's still the priority for him in this game.
I think it's a good item to get. It's just about how long it takes to get there. Maybe he'll go for something like a Force Staff or something, but he's gonna swap the team.
Swap back, they got Ghost, that's the big prize, but they couldn't kill him in time. Cataclysm comes back, they've already brought down Kaori, and they found the stun onto Uragi too. He's got no way out of this one. He loses life number 1. Big terrorize from Ari though onto Ghost, sends him into the brambles, into the damage, and into his death. 2 for 1 so far, but one of those wasn't Aegis. So he's back with Uragi, ready to re-engage here. Boom, wants another jump. They go forward with Copy. They find the 2-hero stomp from the Centaur. Boom finds the kill to Omar, but with the cold snap on his head, he's feeling like he could die here, and indeed he does. Ghost brought back, wants to try and chase down Uragi, looking for the Doom. He keeps losing vision. They get the catch onto Ari, and Uragi is still juking, gets past the tornado as well. Do they have vision? They don't have vision, but they do have the Radiant Spurt. If they just stick around long enough, they will get him, and they will kill him, even though it took a while.
Oh man, he tried his heart out. Uragi, first of all, he got a Sideblade kill on the hero. Very nice. Then he runs away, Mel dodges the first Doom, uses the tree line, and then dodges again, then silences Doom when he's in mid-cast animation using his trap. He really did everything he could. But at the end of the day, they were just a bit too overextended. The first go there didn't work out as well as they wanted to, losing a hero, losing the TA importantly as well afterwards.
Looking at that replay, did GH get the ET splitter into the ice path?
I believe so.
Okay, GH got back to the game though. We have a big skirmish happening in the top lane. Kaori falling low, should end up dead here. As Noob and the gang want to go for more, but Sumail being chased down by this Dark Willow. He cannot escape. The Stampede was utilized, so Ari chases him with the Bedlam. Boom, also getting the catch onto Noob as well. So despite the fact that they had a successful fight, Nigma very soon thereafterwards lose some important heroes on the map.
Yeah, they're very cooldown dependent on their team right now. Like, we talk about Doom being an important long cooldown, and sure, they had that available, but just getting picked off. More importantly, the Cataclysm also important for them. TA, for the pick.
Omar. Will he get out of here? They almost killed him, but TA has seen what can happen if she's caught in the high spot, so didn't want to stick around long enough to secure the kill. Ari, in the end, also gets burnt down by Ghost, able to jump in with the Infernal Blade and secure the kill.
You know why I had to back? Because Sister Shroud is the best item in the game. Omar has Sister Shroud, so the TA trying to kill him there finds out that, wait, this guy just does butterfly or something, I can't kill him. Missing 3 hits in a row, man. It's not fair. How did you remove Gossamer and then add Gossamer 2.0 as a tier 1 item? It's crazy to me still.
Let me see. I don't think is it the dumbest item that's ever been made as a neutral item? No, for sure, that's Ogre's Heel Totem.
Yeah, I was about to say, we've had some crazy ones. I think first version of the Helm of Undying, when it came with 50 seconds cooldown, and it was also bugged to extend duration more than it should. It's like every death should be 5 seconds extension, but instead it was 5, and then 10, and then 15 seconds extension for the third kill alone. So like, yeah, it somehow was incremental, That was the dumbest neutral item.
That's pretty bad.
You could basically
If we
have
do have
a full immunity to death.
Well, Axe is hoping that he has that immunity now because Navi, they're smoked up. They're hoping to try and catch somebody here, but Nigma not falling for it. Despite not really having the best active wards here, their vision game has been somewhat tough for them here, but they've been reading some of these moves from Navi well enough that they're avoiding these ganks.
I think they're playing cautiously. They also know that their late game is really, really strong on their own. They have some fantastic stuff to play towards. So even if they're a little bit behind at this stage of the game, I think Nigma are well aware that they can make a hard comeback here. So just waiting for people to show on the lanes. And once they see that, they're going for the move on their own.
Well, we are in the depths, the trenches of farm warfare right now. We'll see who's going to be able to break this armistice, but in the meantime, with nothing else really going on, Rube might try to get a jump onto Ari. He will get the connection. Sunstrike is there with the Cataclysm. Easy kill for Sumail.
And that also scouts people on the rest of the map. So you see Arkwardem farming up top. They saw Venge over there. It's just really nice to commit the Cataclysm just for the extra bit of intel, not only to pick off. We're coming in.
GH just getting some high ground D wards. Almost has a Lotus Orb for himself on this Elder Titan.
So interesting to me is that Poppy is going for this Octarine build on Arkwardem. So I'm not sure he got enough value for the Aghanim Scepter for me to say that, oh, that was definitely the play. But Octarine is going to help him scale back into comeback mechanics. And here comes the invisible Arkwardem clone. The Rune replica.
It's rolling up. Unfortunately, it does fade. And, oh, Spark Wraith not going to be there in time to hold on to Noob. So he's chilling. He's fine.
Good bit of scouting at least, and forces them to run away on Nigma. As we see the Sumail BKB coming out soon. 500 gold to go.
How's our TA doing in the farm department? She also has a BKB, Blink Dagger, Deso, Shard, Serrated Shiv, D-Lance. Despite how close this game is, she is a monster right now. All that's really missing is the crit stick at this point.
Yeah, she's crazy farmed, but Doom is doing a great job keeping pace. He's only 100 gold behind, and if he gets himself some tankiness items, the Manta Style, maybe an AC, but he doesn't have it yet.
But he needs some other help here because he needs BKB to come out, and it does. Not gonna get sieged upon by Navi. They realize running into Doom as our first target, maybe not a good look, so let's not take that fight. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. They did, however, force his BKB, so that's gonna make him a little bit more unwilling to go fight. Sunstrike scouts the Roche, not up yet. Of course, now we know the exact spawn of it, so we can play around, strategize correctly.
It was his BKB committed, but at least Nigma Galaxy have just picked up their other two BKBs. Invoker and Axe got them at pretty much the same time. I still think you have to smoke and go make a play with this.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. With the Sunstrike coming off cooldown now, they have it. Cataclysm is still a great way to just delete someone. And it doesn't really matter who starts. Like Centaur or Axe can start, or he can start with an Ether Stone.
The fight might come towards them because Navi is smoked as well. They will interrupt the blink of Doom here. Ice Path onto Boom as well as this awkward and clone. But Spark Raids are starting to be laid up on the ground. They need to get out of here. Not a safe position to be in.
Yeah. That random EMP is always so annoying for the Centaur. He does have Lotus Orb, but the mana cost is massive on 175. We're setting it now.
Will get scouted by the DT. Oh, almost got the jump onto Ari. Ari almost died there, but gets swapped back, put into the air. He's gonna be okay. But that means Nigma Galaxy know exactly where they are.
Here comes the long smoke. Axe leading the way with the gem as well. Just has to be careful not running over these Spark Wraiths, as they would reveal the gank.
Here they come. Can they get into the high ground here? It does seem like they'll be able to. The smoke's still not popped. There's no great target ahead of them, unfortunately. The only one left behind is Kaori. And he doesn't even die. He just breaks the smoke and gets out. What a god.
Yeah, he broke the smoke, but sadly nighttime, so a noob could not get vision on the Vengeful Spirit. They're controlling the Roche area, but a little bit awkward for them to just go in and take it as well.
They don't have the best Roche lineup in the entire world, but they're still gonna try for it. Copy with his illusion, throwing out some fluxes. There's a terrorize from Ari with the Bramble Maze as well, but he can't get in close with additional damage. BKB now activated by the axe. Kaori's the one that's in danger through the macro fire. He dies. Sumail forced to pop BKB just to survive the right clicks of Yuragi. And now Yuragi gets himself doomed by Ghost as well. Unfortunately for Nigma Galaxy, all of this is happening very far from the rest of the team, so you can't keep them in place. And now Centaur coming forward, he found a start onto Ghost. Ghost, is he gonna die for this one? Yes, he will. 110 seconds down for the Ghost. It's a dieback from the prior fight. The Jakiro, he's gonna join him in the grave if he gets found out in the trees, killed off. Boom finds Axe on the other side of the occasion. 3 heroes just gone from Nigma. They try to take the Roche quickly, but they failed heavily in that attempt.
We see a difference there in how good the teams are attacking Roche. One side, you have TA, you have Vengeful Spirit, very, very fast killing it. On the other hand, you have like Doom. Yeah, sure, you got them up with Solar Crest and the drums, but it was not enough to take the Roche fast enough. And that Terrorize just ruined everything for them.
Yeah. In the pit, it also made sure that this Axe was less than half HP before the fight even started. For him, the fight was already over. Couldn't realistically re-engage, but was forced to anyway, ends up losing his life.
Yeah, it's difficult for him when they get initiated upon like that. Axe always wants to be the one going first, so this is a game where initiation matters a lot. And I think Navi perhaps have a slight edge there in having Vengeful Spirit, either for saving or being the ones who go first.
Speaking of the Venge, she is indeed.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wanted it. You talked about it earlier. I think this is correct, right? You go Solar Crest into Ags, then you just become this really annoying hero. Can't get rid of her.
Yeah. I've seen some games where the Venge will stop for a Yules, but they normally if they do that, they won't finish the full crest. They'll go Pavis, Yules, Ags, and then they'll come back for the full crest. But I think this is the more efficient option overall.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a case you could make that it would be nice against Axe to have Yules, but once he has BKB, that kind of logic flies out the window again. It's like, yeah, okay, my Yules doesn't stop him now. And if they wanted to do that, they already have Yules on the on Willow at least, so they have someone who can try and do that. Axe going in again, but he's...
Oh. Well, they're going towards each other. Boom. Coming around him here. He does have the Workhorse. Very funny stuff. Can't wait to see the TA inside the Workhorse doing damage from there.
Honestly, it's kind of insane. And a great Doom counter as well. It doesn't stop the Doom damage, but it does mean that you can't focus her anymore. There's literally no way you can keep killing her, so you have to go through Centaur first. And I think this Aghanim Scepter, I want to say, is one of the most underutilized for how good it theoretically is, Aghanim Scepters. It's just hard to make it work properly.
I love it the most if I'm playing draw range and the center of my team. I'm like, bro, just rush Axe.
Oh,
jump forward, noob.
Save.
Will have us reveal what the Axe can do as Boom able to quickly collect his TA. You know, get in the Uber gang, I got you. Cataclysm will also miss as Guragi blinks immediately, but Nigma, they smoke, don't want to go force the fight. They're TPing to the top lane. They get onto Kaori, but they don't have enough to really get the kill. Noob on him too with the BKB at the call, and they finally spin him down. A lot of commitment though for a position 5 Venge. Nigma would like more, but doesn't seem like they're gonna get it. Instead, they might get death and nothing more. As this noob Axe almost loses his life to the TA. Yuragi would love to follow this up. There's the Stampede to give him the forward momentum. Beautiful blink by Noob to keep himself alive, but Sumail doesn't have such options. He does throw back the tornado though toward Boom. Boom gets doomed up by Ghost. The Radiance Burn is gonna be there. The Centaur is dying, but Yuragi going to assassinate the backline. Takes out the Jakiro. On the other side, Omar at least gets to watch Boom die as well, following him, but it's still gonna be a team fight when that Navi feel a bit hard done by with how it all shook out. Very nice. How much damage does this Doom do? 3,000. That's not the most. Aquin was very annoying in that fight though. Lots and lots of spark rays just being laid everywhere. Frustrating life for Nigma. There's a Hex now available for the Arc Warden. Hex, Aghanims, Octarine Core going into E-Blade. Woo! It's a lot of magic damage, baby. Navi now. From that fight, I want to be able to leverage the strength of this Templar Assassin. She's almost got the data list going for herself. Only really needs the recipe to accomplish the full item.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
But after they get that tower, with only 45 seconds to go on this Aegis, I do not think they'll have the bravery to go up onto the high ground from this position. Maybe they'll poke it a little bit, try to force Nigma to come back. That makes the most sense.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire are scanning.
The Invoker just finished off getting the full Shiva's Guard right now with Gale Guard. Feeling quite strong, but just needs to be here to poke them back. Tornado, Refraction will be gone. They blink back. And I think for Navi, that's good enough. Getting confirmation that this Invoker is inside the base right now will suffice for them. Copy just being obnoxious, throwing out the hexes onto the Invoker.
Looks like they hold their high ground. Hello. Snare. Suddenly we have more ghosts in the machinery today. I'm back to...
Oh, that's because Ghost is playing, right? I see.
Oh, yeah. Must be him. The cast is doomed. Everything is doomed. Didn't know they added a new talent. Doom the casters.
It adds global silence onto every
Cataclysm play again.
Nice call, but unfortunately the Cataclysm doesn't provide enough damage, and Noob could be in danger here. He has to get a BKB and get out of here. Kaori does have the swap, brings him right back in. They have more than enough damage to kill him, even through the BKB. Yoragi claims yet another one in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that was an optimistic goal at best. There was the range creep as well that unfortunately tanked a little bit of the sound strike damage. Otherwise, maybe they could have gone the dunk damage. But there was just no way. No way that was going to work out, it felt like.
Yeah.
High risk, pretty limited reward.
Well, 12k gold lead now for Navi. On the bright side, at least they don't have to play into an Aegis. However, the CA continues to just scale in strength. And you know, we were talking earlier about like the late game prowess that Nigma could have. And the problem is TA. TA is one of these heroes that if you do not find an easy way to deal with her before she approaches that 25 mark, getting that meld hit bash, heroes are dying in 1-2 shots at best.
Exactly, yeah. It's a massive power spike. Both her level 25 talents are quite amazing. And yeah, they have the mute talent ready on Doom.
Ghost? Doom's Ari? Sorry to interrupt, but they go into the fight. Kaori able to get him out of this immediately, and there's going to be the Cardi onto Kaori. And now they just turn back onto Ghost. He didn't get off his BKB. He actually might die for this. Barely able to get off the item. With the force off as well from his squad, they get him to safety, but man, this is sort of a story of where this game is at. Doom has to BKB, run out with everything, while supports can just walk it off.
Yeah, I mean, this is looking really rough for Nigma now. They're trying to delay the inevitable as the pressure is coming in from this TA. Now with Doom on cooldown, this is just a green light go scenario if you're Navi to do whatever you want.
Hex, oh no, Noob. He got caught by Copy. These Copy illusions with the awkward, and they've been putting in so much work. They really want Noob. He finally gets off the BKB. Kaori swaps him back. Melt hit. He goes up onto the high ground. The spark rate gets him and kills him. At the same time, Sumail did drop a pretty good Cataclysm, but nobody dies on the side of Navi. It's Sumail that has to run back to base. Echo Stomp will not connect onto anybody. For now, they've done enough to zone Navi back, but yet again, another loss on the Axe life.
So much effort, but not able to bring down even the Venge support manages to get herself to safety. They need more kills. Why you have Doom on cooldown? This is just making it even harder to hold. And he's sending in the clone. Look at this. The Haste Rune in this Arcane Rune clone is nasty when he ships it forward. Especially with that Hex, as you mentioned.
Please explain to me why Vengeful Spirit has a Pyrrhic Cloak as a neutral.
She likes taking damage, man. Pyrrhic Cloak is great because nobody ever thinks about it. That's the biggest strength of the item. But it's also double-sided because you don't think about activating it yourself, and then the enemy don't think about if you did activate it. So, yeah. But honestly, a really, really strong item.
First racks taken now by Navi. For Nigma Galaxy, they do have some kind of cool neutral items. They have 2 of the Dazun Blood Rights for the Invoker and Jakiro for the increased spell amp and in the AoE. And they wanted to deploy it into the Roshan, but unfortunately they were a little bit too late with this approach. Now they have to worry about an Aegis TA. I question the wisdom of the fight, but at the same time, I question letting this hero get to your base.
Yeah. I mean, I think taking fights in your own base right now as Nigma feels like you're playing to lose. So I respect that they're getting out on the map. Mic pause again.
You see, it's affecting them too. What a silence.
I mean, you definitely want to try and be the proactive team if you're Nigma, getting out on field and looking for pickoffs. But with both the Stampede, Venge Swap, and then the cart, the workhorse to pick people up, it's very hard to get these pickoffs that they're looking for.
And the thing is, so you say to yourself, all right, fine, let's just quickly burst the Vengeful Spirit or burst the Centaur. Well, Venge has the Aghanim Scepter, so doing so is not really going to help you that much. And Boom has 4.3k HP, 23 armor, a Pirate Cloak, BKB, Blade Mail, Lotus Orb. Good luck killing him.
It's a lot to go through. We see the 4 Pirate Cloaks in this game. Definitely a very strong item. I'll see if GH can do something cute with his little OD staff, you know. He can juke some Venge stuns or something. Try and disjoint some stuff.
Okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
If he has Outward Staff, right? You buy Aghanim Shard, you throw forth the Spirit, right? You swap to it last second as it stomps, right? And then you just charge your way out as they start to focus you.
You just bait some spells and then you disappear.
Exactly.
I like it. We can go deeper. Add a Blink Dagger onto that. So you stomp in, then you disappear, and then you blink out like a puck.
Blink out.
There you go. That's a cheeky play.
The Elder Titan Jones. I like it.
How much of a I don't know, random Tableau attraction can you make to do absolutely nothing at all?
Well, we're at least contributing to ruining ever more pubs with these suggestions.
Yeah, we have a few ideas now for anyone who's watching. To make pubs better, though, I would suggest doing what Desire, for instance, has done, and a lot of other pro players. Maybe Ari is a fellow enjoyer as well. Put a heart instead of your regular ping, and you can just put hearts everywhere when you ping something. It's so nice. I can't tell you how many things Desire loves in this world. He's pinged enemies, teammates, tormentors, Roshan, everyone gets a heart.
It's because he wants to tell you that he loves you. It's his heart. He's like, oh, I wear my heart on my sleeve and on the game. Here you go, everybody.
Yeah.
So, real talk, Waga, don't lie to me, bro. Level with me.
All right.
Is it, what to win this game, right? Can Nigma win without Navi throwing?
Without throwing? I don't think it has to be a full-on throw, but there needs to be some things going wrong, right? Like some mistake here or there. I don't think a full-on throw is needed. If Nigma find their own coordination, right, their own spells, and take a good fight in the right location, I think they can win this. But it would definitely help if Navi were, you know, practicing their pitching a little bit here. It would be nice for them for sure.
Unfortunately, the smoke into the Roche did not succeed, and they would have found maybe some heroes middle. And the smoke will pop. Tornado goes out. Oh no! Miss-synergy between the Axe and the Invoker. Ghost actually tried to jump in onto Kaoru, who swaps himself out, but they still will end up dead. Workhorse will be there coming in towards Ghost. He has his BKB active, but he's a little bit far from the damage dealers in his team. Invoker has been hexed up, so you can't help him. He did throw out the Doom onto Boom, but still, now that he has Uragi right on top of him, Ghost will end up dead, and there's nothing he can do about it. On the far side, they had to Mail completely controlled with the hex, so he couldn't move in the fight either. Noob trying to get out of here. His BKB is about to expire. He does have a TP, but it will take way too long. He dies. It's a double for Uragi. At the very least, ET is out, but this 3-for-2 exchange, definitely in favor of Navi. I mean, the gold exchange might not feel like it, but man, this CA is now just completely running away with this game.
They did almost get the Centaur as well, but Venge used Swap to put a barrier onto him, giving him a 600 barrier, keeping him alive through the Doom. So very nice there. Heads up play by Vengeful, keeping his friend alive throughout that fight as well. And yeah, they stay dominant throughout these fights. TA having 3 minutes on the Aegis as well. This Swift Blink is going straight towards the high ground.
Yep. Doom doesn't have buyback. Ghost is shy of it by 450 gold, so definitely no way in this for him. Gonna have to watch as at least one set goes.
Impressive artwork clone just rushing in, silencing and hexing you. I have to say, this style of artwork is really fun to play. He doesn't have to buy a Shadow Blade or anything because of this fast, giving him the invis and haste.
Well, I hope he's having fun. Nigma's definitely not dealing with this.
Yeah,
And I'm pretty sure nobody in chat, when they experience this in their own pubs, we're not going to be happy with what you're doing, Copy. So enjoy it while you can.
Nigma are counting their lucky stars. They only lost one lane for that, but the top range racks is quite easily disposed of later on as well.
At least getting the catch onto this awkward and Copy. Can they not even kill the awkward and Copy? Okay, at least they get that.
Takes a while, but they bring it down. In the end, it does die. Sumail is trying to set up something, being sneaky down bottom. He knows the tier 2 tower push is gonna come eventually.
Would it not help if Sumail was able to get a hex or something?
Yeah, it would be big. It's just, it's so hard for him to commit for it right now. Maybe he could sell Midas, buy a hex and surprise people, but the saving tools are still gonna be there. The workhorse, the swap, these tools will still work even if you hex the main target. He's
It's a hard game for Navi.
Lincolns for himself.
Okay, doesn't want to get swapped back anymore.
Yeah.
And doesn't want to get hexed by the Copy Illusion, right?
Yeah, but Copy Illusion can still press Flux into Hex, which is very easy to do quickly as well. So,
Sumail. The tornado thrown out with an EMP. You get the TA to blink back, but Copy's Illusion's just there. Okay, magnetic field dropped. The right clicks are still going in towards this tier 3 tower. It's not going to survive for much longer. Nigma can't keep this going. They need to try something bold here.
This is the timing. Arcworm Clone just died, so it will be a little bit of time before it comes up again. Can they go quick enough though? 5 seconds, he's going to have the summon again. I think they missed the window. Axe is looking for an angle. Together with Doom.
Who are they going to catch? They actually found Copy.
Oh,
They actually found Copy. They actually found Copy, but do they know where he's at exactly? They don't have vision.
You're so close, Noob. Go to the right.
Oh!
He doesn't know yet.
No. Okay, they see him. They got him. They found him. Wait, they burst him. Copy. Oh no, he's been saved. Boom, able to get in with the Warhorse and the Stampede, keeping this awkward in the life. And he wasn't doomed either, so he's able to get to the low ground. He is safe. Noob, he's gonna be in danger instead. He tried to get a call to save his life, but Yuragi is there with the right click damage, able to bring him down. This axe will fall. Kaori at the very least will be taken out by Sumail, but Yuragi immediately finds revenge, blinking forward with the meld hit bash and bringing down the Invoker. He's not done just yet though. The silence out onto GH on the high ground. The blink is gonna get cancelled by Omar's Ice Park, but the swap will be there from Kaori. That's gonna be a double kill for Yuragi. Ghost though, now that he's back in the mix, threw out the Doom, but immediately boom there with the Workhorse protecting the TA. There will be a very nice call into the tornado. Can they do anything with this? Ghost ends up getting the kill with the help of the ET splitter. They also get Yuragi down as well. Nigma Galaxy with multiple buybacks committed end up being able to hold the high ground and for the first time in a long time win a team fight.
Ooh, that cost them so much. Everyone except for Doom had to spend their buybacks in that fight. On Dire, of course. That is some rough stuff. What a crazy save on the Arc Warden. That has to be the best workhorse save I've ever seen. I for sure thought that he was dead, but you cannot take damage while you're in the workhorse. You get protected. He didn't tick down.
Yeah. The scary part about that is after getting all of those kills, the next time that happens, if anybody dies, the game could just end.
Yeah, now everybody is a win condition for them. So, and with Arc Warden having potentially double Hex and TA having the burst potential that she does, Nigma are just, they need to play perfect from now on or it's automatically over. But look at their base. There's just a little rat in their base taking down their tier 3. He's like, welcome home, I'm just gonna cast a bunch of spells on you.
Radiant's middle tower is under
This is a good moment to echo the wise words of Loda all the way back in 2013. How is this balanced?
Is that balanced?
How is this balanced, bro? Oh boy. He's also about to pick up a Dagon as well on Copy, so then you'll have E-Blade, Hex, Dagon, Octarine
Chasing
on this
hero.
awkward. Jakiro
doesn't
getting
have
shot
buyback.
back by Kaori into the copy of Warden, and they should be able to kill him. Kaori, though, will die to the Cataclysm. The illusion gets the stun out onto Noob. Noob falling lower and lower, forced to pop the BKB. Kaori bites back to prevent the clone from being demolished, and now he's leaping forward. Curse Crown out onto GH, and they are going to be able to get the kill on this ET. That is a dieback on him. That is a dieback on the Jakiro, and now Navi have the numerical advantage to come and end the game.
3v5 on board here. This is going to be very, very difficult to hold as there are buybacks as well available on TA, on Arc Warden, on Centaur. Hell, even the little Dark Willow is ready to buy back as well. So it's not 3v5, it's 3v9 at this stage.
Invoker just bought a Blink Dagger. He knows that this is it when Hail Mary points, but he's been silenced. Oh no, they're going on top of him. Ghost not able to get the Doom, but it's not really going to matter because Sumail is dying. He needs some help. He's rushing forward as his BKB expires. They are able to bring down Ari. So that's one down. Copy's illusion will be taken away as well. But for Navi, now that the Doom is over, they are right back in the base.
They
pushing
all have
for
cooldown
another
BKB.
lane of Rex.
Every single core on Dire have cooldown right now. This is an impossible fight.
Kaori could die here. That'll be a nice kill. That's a dieback onto the Venge. Will they be able to achieve more here? They've already got themselves some mega creeps for Navi. Boom. Zoning the rest of the squad back. They don't want to progress past him. Ghost does have Doom available again. He's actually TPing to the far side of the fight. Cataclysm goes out. Kaori, his illusion ends up getting brought down. But Ghost, he TP'd into the Hex Swagger. He TP'd into his death. Now there's no Doom for 95 seconds, no buyback available. They are still able to get Chaos Meteor onto Uragi, and Uragi will die on the TA. Sumail carrying this fight in the absence of his Doombringer, and he wants to chase for more. He sees the direction Ari is blinking in. Would love to find him. There is vision from these wards. Ari knows the direction they're coming from. His blink on cooldown for 5 seconds. Here comes Arc Warden though. Arc Warden with the clone. Back lane onto Noob. You're not going to chase my support, my friend. I'm going to chase you. But Sumail comes in from the backline. Shiva's God is out, but he immediately gets himself hexed. He is in danger here. ET will provide the splitter, but it only connects onto the clone. Not of much value. They've already lost Noob. 2 minutes. No buyback for him.
Ari's stuck on a high ground.
Well, that's a small win for them at least, but he just blinks away. He's all good. He's fine. It's GH that's going to be the one that's struggling, as Copy just has all the spells in the world. Flux after flux, hit after hit, death after death. But now Sumail trying to solo Copy, drops the Chaos Meteors, trying to bring him down. Does he have the damage? He actually does. The king has never left. He's still on his throne. They're losing the game, but he's still a god. In the meantime, though, Copy with the illusions and taking care of the tier 4 towers. The megas are in the base. The ancient is at half HP, but fortunately, Sumail is here. The king has saved the game.
He's trying to hold on for dear life. Omar has been fighting these mega creeps for the last minute. Not easy for him as he's just a little support Jakiro. Respawns are coming in soon from Navi, and with Axe dead, this could be the time that we want to go put a final blow. Actually, the TP over on their own side with Centaur. Are they just gonna play for Roche right now? Okay. They gotta let Axe get his respawn possibly. Maybe it's not all over yet for Nigma.
Let's see. Ghost doesn't have money for buyback because he bought out for the refresher. 700 gold shy. Invoker and everybody else just needs the cooldown timer. So if Navi would do them the favor of just holding off for 2.5 minutes,
holy, it's
then
fast.
they'll be okay.
What is the speed on Roche? Look at him. Zoom.
I mean, it is Olympic season, gang. He's showing us his form. He's been training.
Yeah, for sure. Signing up as a sprinter.
Okay, 20k gold, lots of experience, no buildings, no towers,
Venge,
no cliff.
Venge has the CDR talent on her swap, by the way, which is a huge power spike. 18 seconds less cooldown on it means he can be extremely disruptive now. And everyone he pulls back is a potential game-winning move.
This is one of the few CDRs that's still left in the game, right?
Yeah, I mean, there are a few. There's no, like, flat CDR percentages, but yeah, there's not too many big CDRs for ultimate abilities anymore.
That's what I mean, yeah, for ults, yeah.
Yeah. I kind of missed the percentage based. I mean, I was a big fan of the spell person, to be honest. I like that in Quick Charm. Yeah, I'm a sucker for casting a lot of spells, man. It's so much fun. Especially if I can chain stun someone forever. That's, you know, added bonus. Windrunner, DK, all these heroes that had perma-stun in the past. I miss them.
Another edition of Wildcard ruining pubs.
I mean, as much suffering as possible, man. That's the spirit of pub Dota, no? That's what we all queue up for.
The famous saying, the Satra quote that hell is other people. No, hell is Dota being balanced by Wildcard Mama.
I mean, yeah, be surprised.
23k gold lead. We did pick up a refresher for Sumail right now. So, they were actually given the time.
They were.
They don't have that much money for all of their heroes, but they were given the time to get their buybacks. We'll see right now. Ghost, he's getting gone on just as I say it. But he is going to be okay for the moment.
Yeah, I think they want to keep Ghost on the front line so that he gets gone on. But instead, it's Axe.
Where did the swap come from? They swapped in Noob. They got Noob. They got him. He's down, 100 seconds, but he has buyback in 20. Ghost, in the meantime, still getting gone on by Copy, forcing him in all kind of different directions. Terrorize will be there in tandem with the stop from Boom. Ghost is going to go down, but he does have buyback, utilizes it immediately. He wants to try and still defend the game. The Cataclysm went out in tandem with the Doom onto Ari, so they get that kill. Sumail, though, in trouble, thanks to Copy, but Sumail able to get out of the very last moment. He still lives. Kaori gets another swap. This time it's onto the Doom, but Ghost does have the BKB ready to go. He flies forward, looking towards Kaori. Doesn't want to doom himself through the Lotus Orb, but should be able to get the Radiance Burn, and that finds a kill. So they do get something. Doom thinking about going in to try and help out Boom here, as Kaori did swap to support and protect his Centaur. Will die for it, definitely. And Boom, he's still taking out to the Doom, and he gets caught in by Noob with the call, and there's going to be the dunk. Okay, this time they did it fair and square. Still required buybacks, but nonetheless they get more kills and defend the base.
I feel like I'm not seeing TA in this final fight. Like, there's a lot of swap backs in different plays, but TA, I think Yuragi is so worried about going in, getting caught by Axe. He ended up not really doing too much damage in that situation. Like, he did 5k, which isn't terrible, but Doom did 11,000 damage during the same time.
To be fair, Doom did that across 2 lives.
Fair. But TA has she also has 2 lives.
Yeah, but she didn't pop her first life. So Doom actually had to commit and die to be able to make that happen.
But if you don't use it, you're gonna lose it. You got 1 minute and 30 seconds, and then the age is gone. Playing
it would be nice if, like, you could put some of the Aegis effect into a bank. Like, let's say you eat the Aegis, and instead of getting immortality, it reduces your overall cooldown on death or something. I don't know. Something like that would be interesting.
Yes. Overall cooldown reduction. Like
Bottom. Ghost. He's in with Copy. Almost able to get the kill. Sumail went forward. Forced to pump his BKB. Really wants this offboard, and an off doesn't really have a best way to protect himself. Chaos Meteor with the full Cataclysm. The full combo is out. Copy is falling low. Copy's gonna die. No, he's not. He's still alive. The tornado is not enough damage. He didn't die. Noob, though, able to get a catch onto TA. Yuragi, that's the first life taken away. Kaori gonna do his best to keep this fight going on the back edge. He will find a Chaos Meteor into his face. He goes onto the high ground to survive. Yule Scepter buying space, buying time, but the right click will bring him down. Ghost didn't die this entire time. His BKB will protect him as he attempts to TP out. He can't do it though. Kaori returning into the fray, finds a swap, ensures that Ghost is dead. There's no buyback for the Doom. There is one available for Sumail. They're gonna have to play their hearts out to stay in this one. Game 3 is coming down to the wire. Kaori is dropping back GH. They burst down onto the ET, buys back instantly. Kaori did die, but has an illusion on the ground as Yuragi throwing in the right clicks towards Noob, trying to get the dieback on the Axe, and they are gonna get it. 2 minutes, no Noob. Everybody else is dying around them. There is buyback from GH, but just as quickly as he returns, he gets sent back to sender. Omar can do nothing to help him here. And Sumail, the last survivor, the one who did his best, he held this game for as long as he could, but eventually it is not enough. GG.